Hats off.
Is that mine? Mallet. Blue. Some tracks are red, some tracks are blue. If you run, jump or chuck, then this love stream is for you. Welcome to Perth. Here we are for the Jandakot City Track Classic. It's great to have you on board. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are around Australia and around the world. We're in for a great night of athletics here, and I've got a couple of very special guests. The quarter miler from Mingara, Matt Lynch. Welcome, Lynchy.
Thank you, mate. It's good to be out west.
And it's the Worm of Collins Street, Ollie Worm. Great to have you back, mate.
Robbo, good to be here, mate. What a night of athletics ahead.
Yes, and shout out to Mossy. He's not joining us in the west. He's at home. He got a better offer, I think, for Valentine's Day. So big shout out to Mossy. But boys, lots to get through tonight. Run, jumping and chucking. And I want to know, what are your highlights? What are you looking forward to? Lynchy, kick us off.
I'm going to start with the chucking. We're out west and we've got Kim Mickle. And we've also got Kelsey Lee Roberts, Catherine Mitchell. We've got the 3Ks. We've got a guest from China in the javelin. So the women's jav, that's my number one tonight.
Excellent. Wormy, what about yourself?
Definitely the men's long jump. Robbie Crowther opened up the season with an 8:03. Ran 100 last week. So I'm looking for him to go perhaps over 8:10 tonight. We'll see how the conditions play out, but it should be a fantastic evening.
And Lynchy, what else has caught your eye, mate?
Back on the track, I think Michelle Jandakot last week, 13:04, 5th all-time, New South Wales state record. With this tailwind tonight, I think she can go sub-13.
All right, and finally, one last one from you there, Ollie.
I think the women's 400, you've got Morgan Mitchell, Caitlin Sargent, Annalise Ruby, Lindsay Pekin in there. So the women's 400 should be a fantastic battle, and it's going to be a superb night.
Oh, excellent. Well, I can't wait to... we're looking down here at the pole vault. That's going to be a great contest. We've got men's and women's, but the women's in particular, and its national record holder, Alana Boyd, up against the quartet of Western Australians, the Parnov sisters, Emma Philippe and Nina Kennedy, a couple of up-and-coming teenagers there. That could be an absolutely cracking battle, and one that we'll see play out over a number of years. So stick around, folks. Remember, this is the Australian Athletics Tour. It's stop number 4 of 6 preliminary meets. A couple of finals to come in Sydney and Melbourne. And you can catch all the action and the results tonight as well. Just jump onto athletics.com.au. And we'd also love to hear from you. Jump onto your mobile device. Use the hashtag Summer of Ath. Let us know how you're spending Valentine's Day. Send us a photo, how you're watching it, the love stream, how you're enjoying it. Lynchy might even belt out, sing a love song for you.
You never know, mate. Some requests.
John Paul Young, Lovers in the Air.
Lovers in the Air.
Oh, don't get the boys started, but look, stick around. Have a great Jandakot City Track Classic. Thanks for joining us, and let's bring it on. So here we go for the Jandakot City Perth Track Classic here in Perth, and what a fantastic day. I tell you what, it's a bit blowy down here, and we're going to hear from some of the competitors very soon, hear what they think of the conditions. But perfect sunny day, as you can see there. Perth has absolutely turned it on, and what we thought we'd do to kick things off is just give you a little recap of where things are happening on the tour so far. This is the 4th stop on the Australian Athletics Tour, and so far we've had meets in Hobart, in Newcastle, and last week in Canberra. Let's have a look now at some of the leading points scorers in the men's and women's events.
But Sally Pearson, 11-1-7, 11-1-7, Sally Pearson, and Pearson, she opens up in the straight with a commanding lead. Nelson's starting to come home. It's Pearson in the lead, Reed in second, Nelson coming over, Sally Pearson, what a run, and what an evening for Sally Pearson.
see who's in fine form as Morgan Mitchell goes up on side and shoulder, and the national champion strides away for victory. Good run, 53.04. It's McGowan out in front of her Commonwealth Games teammate, having a good run there. Trishelle Kingdom in fourth, but it's all Brittany McGowan out in front. Very good run there, 2:05.09. Closing late was Annalise Ruby.
No doubt about it, when Melissa Duncan, Brittany McGowan, fantastic. Great run there. To a clear lead there, Michelle Yanneke. Tanya running very well on the inside.
I can't hear you guys through here, by the way.
Michelle Yanneke runs a cracking race there. But it's all Lauren Wells. Get behind her, ladies and gentlemen, in the crowd and at home. Lauren Wells clears the last hurdle. 7 lines to come.
Just testing, that's my talkback. Talkback.
55. What a run from Lauren Wells.
Tick, are you getting me on talkback? You boys getting me on
That's
talkback?
a decent jump
Yeah,
there
mate, you
from
getting me?
Yep.
Talkback. Talkback.
As we see Kelsey Lee.
Just talking back.
Taking care of business.
Oh my God! It's
So yeah, I guess just
unbelievable. That is a great throw. Inamoa running well. Crowder's up there. Jinsu Jung on the inside, but Inamoa going to take this one out.
So it is Clark that leads. Hartman trying to go with him, but have a look at Joshua Clark. Big run there. The World Junior representative.
It's Burnt in the lead. Can he hold on? Beck's coming. Burnt in the lead. What a finish with Douglas storming home late. 46.04. But Alex Rowe, our equal national record holder. What time we say there? 1:45.40.
Again, Risley, the Australian 1,000-metre record holder, starts 2015 in great shape. 3:39.80. Easy win there in the end.
Hoff gets to the lead with Molino and Conway running well, but it's Nick Hoff. Hoff is the lead as he gets over the last hurdle, and they cross the line there. 13.70 unofficial. Cochrane there. PB of 48.94 negotiating.
I'm going to throw to Ollie.
The Canadian's got a bit of work to do.
To talk us through the discus.
Very
Cool.
well.
Well, he's got a text from Matty B. He goes, your mics are on, we can hear you.
The New Zealander gets the win there.
Here we go. Robbie Crowther.
That looks good.
Whoa.
Let's see that. Oh, that's a wide flag.
Into the fall. So here we go, the rucking ball. All right. Julian Ruck. Into a pretty gusty drizzle. And it's safe. And that's the 60 mark there.
And here he goes, Matt Denny. So he's already got 68.22 on the Gold Western personal best. Can he improve on that? We see him in the ring now. Looking quick in the ring. That's another big throw there. A huge one. That is a big one there from Matt Denny.
Birkenhead. Stays inside. That would be a...
He got it in. Excellent.
Now, with Hamish Peacock about to throw, they have put up. Let's see what he can do on throw number 1.
Hamish Peacock there, that's about the 80-metre mark there, so a great opener for Hamish Peacock, the local boy.
So there you go, some of the great action happening on tour so far, and we're going to take you now to some action that has happened today, and it was in the discus cage. And I'm going to pass it over to our commentators tonight, Matty Lynch and Ollie Worm. Boys, you excited for what's ahead tonight?
Yeah, mate, I'm very stoked. We've already had a couple of events underway, and Julian Ruck taking out the win, 62.60 in the men's discus. How did you see that one?
Very impressive throwing there from the big fella there, Julian Ruck. Denny as well had a good day at the office, so we'll go through some of the highlights now. As you can see, the athletes getting underway.
That was Guy Henley, and 53.99, a new national record.
Very impressive there from him. He's really worked on his performance this season and getting PB after PB, so impressive. Julian Ruck here in the ring. See him about to wind up here. That's big.
There it is. That's your 62.60. That one's took out the competition. And here's Matt Denny stepping into the circle. Is that Denny again, or is that Ruck?
No, it's Ruck. He's going again.
2 Ruck throws, okay. 1 Ruck is not enough.
Next medal and victory ceremony is released to Arena Sprint.
See down there, Julian Ruck setting himself. Of course, represented Australia at the highest level. Gets one out there. Just
That one looks like the 62.60.
Just below that 65 metre mark, which is what these boys would really be pushing for as the tour progresses. You can see there are sponsors. We couldn't do it without them, could we?
Nah, definitely could. And we'd like to thank Jandakot City, because this event is proudly sponsored by Jandakot City, the premier commercial industrial estate in WA.
And Lynchy, what does Jandakot actually mean?
It means the place of the Whispering Eagle.
The Whispering Eagle.
The Whispering Eagle. That's right. So there we go. There's the men's pole vault. But we might just chuck to Robbo. He has a few friends sitting on the steeple out there. I don't think they've seen a steeple before, but they're very friendly. Robbo, how are you?
Yeah, I'm going well, thanks, Lynchy. And look at this, making light, heavy work of the steeple barrier out here. We can see it's a couple of our finest chuckers, Guy Henley, Matty Denny, and Julian Ruck. Boys, welcome to the love stream tonight. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Tell us, was there some love in that ring out there tonight?
Oh, it wasn't too bad, eh? We've had a good comp. Yeah. Henley through. I'm going to buy these 2 roses today, so I'll buy. I think there's some around the back. So.
Well, now, Matty Denny, we've seen some of your journalism in action with your vlog. Yeah. Where can people see that?
It's on my Facebook page or on my YouTube page, just Matthew Denny. So.
Now, I'm going to give you a job. You're going to lead this interview for us, so take it away, Matty Denny.
Oh, my God. All right, so Julian Ruck, what was your best throw today? 62...
62.60.
62.60, so it's not too bad. You said you weren't too happy with it, so tell us what happened through the comp and what was going through your mind?
I just can't seem to get the same feeling in competition as I get in training, that's all. I mean, it's not the worst, it's not a disaster, but it would just be nice to get that feeling of connecting with the discus and actually throwing it like I do in training, so... oh well, bit frustrating. What can you do?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I couldn't even get 60 today, so I know exactly what you mean. Couldn't get behind it. So over to Henley now, absolute bomb master, dropping the Australian record out and close to that world record. How was it? Half a metre off?
Yeah, it was half a metre off.
Half a metre off.
So metre and a half. A metre.
So run us through the comp and first throw, wasn't it?
Yeah, first throw. Yeah, it was just a bomb on the first throw. It's really happy, just felt smooth and really relaxed and just smashed it out there. The next few, the next couple, I fouled and got a bit excited ahead of myself, and then the last one I smacked out a decent one, and the foot ended up just going outside the circle at the end. So it was a really solid comp and good breeze too.
No, it was a good comp. Yeah, Matthew, how was your comp? Yeah, no, it was all right. Threw pretty well. Didn't get the 60 metre, which was a bit lacking in. I don't know. Couldn't get behind it, but. It was a good day, good competition. Everyone threw pretty well, so stoked with it.
Mate, you might get a job here. You've done so well. Well done.
Thank you.
Now, well done, boys. Thanks for dropping by for a quick chat, and we look forward to the next men's discus comp. Where's that going to be at?
Oh, where's that? That's Melbourne.
Yeah, I think it's in Melbourne.
All right, you boys are looking good. You're racking up some good points in the point system, so we're looking forward to seeing you in Melbourne. All right, there you go. Thanks very much, guys. Well done. Give me a round of applause. Back up to you there, Lynchy. Tell us what else has been happening.
With a couple of other events on the field. Now, one of those events that my friend Wormy here was looking forward to, the men's long jump.
Oh, yes, the men's long jump. Looking forward to seeing big Robbie Crowther having a jump today. And we can see the start list there. Some good athletes assembled here. And, of course, the one to watch, Robbie Crowther. But also Angus Gould, Tom Sullivan, Tim Maguire, Cedric Dubler. Some class athletes here to have a long jump.
That's right. Cedric Dubler, 774. And he's a Decathlete. He jumped that when he got silver over at Eugene for the World Juniors. Nick Van Gelder, he was a 750 jumper last time at Hunter. I think Angus Gould got a 750 out there too. Thomas Solomon's got a 770. Tim Maguire's got a 794. It's a pretty class field out in that long jump. And let's hopefully see Robbie Crowther get over that 8 metres with a nice legal wind. 8.10 I think's the target. You can see it right there, right in the middle. If you get add to that to 9 metre mark, it'd be even more impressive.
Yeah, but, it will be impressive. And the wind's going to be a big factor today. We've seen winds ranging between 2 to 5.5 metre tailwind. So the athletes will obviously enjoy the tailwind behind them, but they won't want a too big a tailwind. So they won't want 3 to 5 metres, and particularly in the sprints as well. Melissa Breen has come and she's having a run today. Ran well in Canberra. She's looking to build on that run today. So let's just hope we get some nice 1.9, 2 metre tailwinds in the long jump.
Yeah, it's not often you're telling the tailwind to settle down, but it's so gusty at the moment. We don't want to see a good performance get ruined by a gust that might knock it over to a 2.1. But the way these winds going, we might see Mel Breen run 10.99. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
That would be massive.
That would be massive.
The Whispering Eagle would be around.
The Whispering
Jandakot.
Eagle. Jandakot City. Now, 10 minutes after that, we're going to see the women's open javelin. And we've got a couple of local athletes in there, but of course we'd probably be focusing on the 3Ks, Catherine Mitchell, Kelsey Lee Roberts and Kim Mickle. It's Kim Mickle's first comp this year, and let's see if she can knock it out past that qualifier. Kelsey Lee and Catherine have already got it, and there's also a Chinese athlete who's thrown over 65 metres. Li Ling Wei from China.
Lynchy, we're going to have a bit of a look at Robbie Crowther. He's had a good season. We're going to watch some highlights now as I can see the man warming up. Once called the sexiest man in athletics. We're going to watch some of his highlights as he's had a great season so far. So
here we go. Robbie Crowther. Whoa.
Oh, that looks good.
Whoa.
Let's see that. Oh, that's a white flag.
You know, obviously last year in 794 and then 803 at Nationals really late, and only having 4 or 5 months of training under Gary, and being overweight as well, having a whole year off. It wasn't pretty because a lot of the athletes, Linda Levinson and everything, were paying me out and how chubby I was. So it was quite funny to open up with 803 here. And I didn't know what shape I was in, and I didn't know what shape I was in when I ran the 1052.
Take this out.
So pull him with that.
Well, that's my one. That's this one.
That's that.
All right, there you go, Robbie Crowther. He's going to be doing something pretty special tonight, Ollie. I know you're a huge Robbie Crowther fan. What do you think he might be able to get out to tonight with that big wind?
look, I'd love to see Robbie get out over that 8.10. His speed's obviously there. He ran the 100 in Canberra. Probably wouldn't have been overly happy with performance there. Didn't get away that well, but you can see his top-end speed is there. He's certainly confident. He's in some of the best shape of his life. You can see by looking at him as well, he's in very good nick. So I'd love to see Robbie go over the 8.10. It's just a matter of the conditions and how they play, and you'd assume he's got his run-up down pat. You see his coach Gary Bourne here. So I think he's set here for a big jump. His training partner Tom Solomon as well. He's an athlete to watch. So should be a fantastic night for Robbie Crowther. I'm excited to watch the big man jump.
Now, if you like your field events, well, there's plenty coming your way. If you are in love with the chuck or the jump, there's lots to look forward to tonight, so settle back. Make sure you jump on to any form of social media that you like. Use the hashtag #SummerOfAths. We'd love to see how you're enjoying the love stream tonight on Valentine's Day. So plenty of sport happening today, and here's some athletics to finish off what has been, hopefully for you, a romantic day. And the love stream and our hosts will be bringing you all the action here in Perth. Now, boys, we're not far away from the start in the long jump. Robbie Crowther getting an early touch of the steeple barrier here. Everyone wants a bit of the steeple. What did you think of those big boys with the chucks earlier in the discus ring?
Yeah, look, Julian Ruck looks in very good early season form, and Matt Denny is just continuing his form. So the big boys are throwing well, and of course we'll see the women having a throw in Adelaide. I know Kim Mulhall, she's looking forward to having a throw over there in Adelaide, but the boys looked in good nick tonight, and the men are just warming up here. I think Tim Maguire's one to watch. He's the South Australian athlete who's looking forward to jumping here and ideally getting up in contention to challenge Robbie Crowther. But, yeah, look, it's going to be a good night here. And the crowd's just building as well. The sun is out. The wind is also out. And let's hope the locals get behind this superb meet, the Jandakot City Track Classic.
Yeah, look, we're just coming into a nice bit of twilight here. And you're right, Ollie, the crowd is certainly filling out beautifully. Look, it's very similar to where we were 12 months ago here at the WA Athletics Stadium. It is a fantastic venue. We've got a special guest coming over. She's giving us a wave. I wonder if she wants to have a little chat. We'll see if we can get her over here.
Here she comes.
All right, let's see if we can get Australia's fastest woman on for a quick chat. G'day, Mel. How's things? That's good. Just happened to be passing by the love stream.
Yes, of course. It's a beautiful evening in Perth.
And sorry, I'm just checking our setup. You were the host there for a little while. Have a look into the camera here. Tell us, how's your Valentine's Day been? Did you get any roses from anyone? I sent them this. Oh, you didn't get them? No. Maybe if you can get the win here tonight, maybe that'll be the podium prize. All right. Now tell us what were you up to this morning? Helping with some of the little athletics?
Yeah, I just headed out to the Little Aths club here. So it was just a good chance to, I guess, get out there and see some awesome performances this morning. A 13-year-old boy named Sean jumped 193. on the grass.
Wow.
196 was very close, so it was a pretty awesome day out there, and it was just a good way, I guess, to feel in a comp day when you're competing so late in the day.
Now tell us, we saw some footage of you earlier in the races in Canberra last week. How did your body pull up after that? How was it emotionally as well?
Yeah, it was obviously, there was a lot of hype about the day, and I pulled up really well. Maddie B's given me a pretty tough week, so I'm really looking forward to coming out and racing in tonight. I had a very light day yesterday, so looking forward to running fast tonight.
Very good. Well, we know Maddie B's already tuned in, and big shout out to him and everyone watching over there in Canberra. We had a great time there, but this week the tour rolls on to Perth. Look, have a great run. We look forward to seeing you out on the track. I remember last year, and I'd hate to see this happen again.
Oh yeah, I fell over.
You broke the blocks last year.
Yeah, I'll be making sure they're securely in, or maybe I'll get someone to stand on them.
It's all that strength work you've been doing in the gym. All right, well done. Well, there's Mel Breen.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see her on the track later on. The Jandakot City Track Classic. Back up to you guys.
Good to hear from Breenie there. I reckon she's looking forward to having a run tonight, and the conditions we've just seen there, 2.5 metre tailwind registered, so that'll excite Mel a little bit. She'd like to see a 2.0, but we've just seen a 2.5 metre tailwind registered there, so they are currently getting those wind readings just up and testing, and we do have the men's long jumpers as well finalising their warm-ups. Lynchy, how's the night progressing for you, mate?
It's good, mate. So we've got the first event on the track coming up at 7 o'clock. That's going to be the women's 100 metre hurdles. We're going to see Michelle Jandakot come back in and see if she can get under that 13 seconds. She ran 13.04 down in Canberra. Very surprising to herself, actually. She thought the clock was broken, so we might see her sneaking under that and maybe get a bit quicker. She's got Glynis Nunn, an Olympic gold medalist in heptathlon, and Jane Fleming, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, ahead of her.
Yeah, look, she's it'd be great to see her go under 13 seconds. She's in very good form. I'd be interested to see how low she can get it down by nationals. If we see her go under 13 in the next few weeks, you then ask the question, how low can she go? And of course, Australia's got some great hurdlers at the moment. Of course, Sally Pearson, when she's hurdling, is one to be reckoned with, one of the greatest hurdlers of all time. You got her there as well, Jandakot, and the list goes on, really. So some good athletes and some good head-to-head battles lurking, starting to shape up as well in Australian athletics. Of course, in the women's javelin tonight, it's a head-to-head battle between the 3Ks. In the long jump, Robbie Crowther's got some tough competition with Tim McGuire, Cedric Dubler, some good athletes. And we just saw on the discus there, you had Julian Ruck up against Matt Denny. So some great battles are starting to develop in Australian athletics, and that can only be good for athletics in this country, to have athletes competing against each other, trying to improve on their personal best week in, week out. See Tom Nixon here just doing some intros, and Ben Offrens, of course, one of the favourite sons of Western Australian athletics, a sub 45 man. He's here tonight to help out on the ground announcing. Sarah Jamieson about to receive an award, and a few other athletes. So they're honouring some of the athletes from Western Australia who have represented Australia at the highest level.
Sarah Jamieson, the Australian 1500 metre record holder, silver medalist at the 2006 Commonwealth Games, and the second fastest in the mile of all time. So not a bad little rap sheet there, not a bad resume.
Yeah, she's a fantastic athlete, and I believe she's helping out with some athletes now, doing a bit of coaching here and there, and great to see her get honoured tonight here at the track. Of course, we've also got the women's pole vaulters. They're warming up. Of course, the Alex Parnov squad, very prominent here in Western Australia. So, of course, the two Parnov girls, they're warming up. And, of course, the two younger girls are training with Alex Parnov. They're going to be ones to watch in the future.
Yeah, definitely. One of them actually has the Australian lead at the moment. I think it is Nina Kennedy with a 4:41. But I did hear rumours that Alana Boyd up in Queensland jumped 4:45 off only an 8-step run-up. So she could go very, very high. She's got the meet record here, 4:66, and she's also got the Australian record that she set here as well at a different meet with 4:76. So if she starts getting it up there, she might start knocking out a few more meet records.
Yeah, Alana Boyd really should be one to watch tonight, one of the all-time great female pole vaulters, and she'll enjoy being over here tonight at the Jandakot City Track Classic. And no doubt these girls were looking to go, anywhere above that 4:30, 4:40, 4:50 plus mark tonight. Be great to see him around the 470, 480, but you never know, mate.
We'd love to see him get up that high. Now, don't forget, you can follow Athletics Australia and Athletics WA on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Use the hashtag SummerOfAths if you want to get around the social media. Don't forget to send us a photo on Instagram or Twitter of where you're watching and what you're doing while you're watching it.
Now, I've got the results here of the men's pole vault. So there were 4 athletes competing in that. Jared Sims was 4th in 4 metres 90. In 3rd, Jack Hicking from N-Swiss in 5. He jumped 5 metres. Angus Armstrong from New South Wales jumped 5.20, and Curtis Marshall, the South Australian, was our winner, won on a countback, jumping 5.20. So Curtis Marshall, one of the real up-and-coming athletes in Australia at the moment, clearing 5.20 there. So he cleared 5.20 at his first attempt, whereas Angus Armstrong cleared it at his second attempt, the mark of 5.20. So Curtis Marshall was the winner there in the men's pole vault, Lynchy.
Yeah, that's good pole vaulting in this kind of weather. I know they don't like it being too windy, but it has stayed pretty consistent and behind them. I know they don't like getting a little bit too gusty while they're up there going sideways, but that's good jumping from Angus. Second, he did a PB at Hunter when he won with 5.25, so a 5.20 is very consistent. Curtis Marshall's jumped 5.42 this year. They're both 17, I think, turning 18 this year, so young pole vaulters. It's the future. Jack Hicking, also, he's only, I think he's 10 or 20 this year as well, 7th at World Juniors last year with a 5 metres 40, so we've got a good young crop of pole vaulters. So let's see if these guys can push themselves like Steve Hooker and Paul Burgess did to get over maybe that 6 metre mark.
Paul Burgess, one of the local heroes around here in Western Australia, and of course Steve Hooker spent a lot of time up here training with Alex Parnell, but of course he's a Victorian, competed for the Box Hill Athletics Club. You can see some of the athletes in the women's pole vault there warming up.
And they've been preparing that pit there on the right in the long jump for quite a while. It's been flattened to an inch of its life, wet, flattened again and wet again, and I think it's one of the best prepared pits we've seen this whole tour.
Well, Lynchy, I'm telling you, that's the best long jump pit I've ever seen prepared in my life. They've been here for about an hour, raking it, watering it, raking it again. It was the smoothest pit I've ever seen.
Yes, boys, I managed to dip my toe into that fine sand earlier. That fine West Australian sand really was terrific. But look, it's almost going to be a bit upsetting when the long jumpers upset the sand in through here. But not far away now, only a few minutes until we see the first jump. And it is going to be good. So stick around, folks. Make sure you jump on. Show us where you're listening from. I can see a lot of people already lighting up the Twitter sphere, the Instagrams, Facebook. So jump on, use hashtag SummerOfAths. And looks like we're going to intro our long jumpers here. I'll throw it over to Ollie and Matty Lynch to do the honours.
Thanks there, mate. We can see Tim McGuire being introduced now. Van Gelder being introduced there in the long jump. Thomas Solomon, of course, one of the training partners of Robbie Crowther.
Yeah, got himself a Commonwealth Games B qualifier last year. He's been up around that 770 mark.
Very impressive. Angus Gould from the ACT trains up there with the masterful Craig Hilliard.
Is that him wearing? Is he wearing tights? I don't think I've ever seen him wear tights before.
He normally wears splitties, doesn't he?
Is it? Maybe it's a bit too windy for splitties.
And there he is, the man, Robbie Crowther, the man in form, in the shape of his life. I've got a feeling he's going to jump a big one. I've got a feeling.
Yeah,
I can feel it in my waters.
You can feel it?
I can feel it.
Can you feel it? All right.
I can feel it.
On Twitter, guys, we're seeing Matty B. He reckons 8:30. Ollie Worm?
Yeah, well, Matty B's a great judge. He's always on the money, and I reckon, look, 8:10 plus, it certainly wouldn't be surprising. 8:30 would be an absolutely outstanding jump, and of course a personal best there for Robbie Crowther, and I think it's on the cards.
Well, the Fremantle Doctor and Robbie Crowther, a sensational mix. Let's see what's going to happen.
Let's see if he can channel the Whispering Eagle.
The Whispering Eagle, and we're on the love stream. Any love song dedications, send on them through. But the love stream, really no better way to spend your Valentine's Day. Of course, we're here in Perth right now. It's 6:30 p.m. But perhaps where you're from, particularly in Melbourne, it's 9:30. So I'm a bit jet lagged, Lynchy.
I'm jet lagged. I've been up since 2:15 a.m. Perth time.
Oh no!
I didn't get a nap in. My nana nap didn't happen, but I don't want to sleep and miss any athletics.
No, we don't. And of course, this next half an hour or so, we've got some absolutely classic battles. And you can see the the female javelin throwers there, about just finishing their warm-ups and about to be introduced. So we will keep you posted on that. And you can see there an athlete to watch, Kim Mickle, 66.83, her personal best.
83, just 3 centimetres over that Australian record. 66.80 it was, done I think in the mid-90s, possibly around the 2000s. Either was it Joanne Curry or Louise Curry or Joanne Stone? Louise Curry, it's been confirmed. 66.80. That's a big throw. It looks like they're throwing into the headwind down here. I'm not sure if they've brought their headwind javelins with them. I hope they have. But let's hope they can cut through that like a discus does and soar and stay above the air and, you know, hopefully get out. And that it's going to be good for the crowd, I think.
And the meet record for this, 63.94. Sue Howland, as we look at the start list shortly. That's
Sue, old Javelin Sue.
Yeah, Jab. Might have to give her a phone call today. Might put her on speed dial and go, Sue. Ollie Worm here from Athletic Australia live stream. Got some bad news. One of the 3Ks just broken the meet record.
Now, Ollie, do you want to go through those names on the start list?
Yeah. Apologies, we don't actually have the women's jav start list on the screen. I'll go through it, though, for you. Virginia Steinson from Western Australia, Kiara Rodingus from Western Australia, Li Lengwei from China, Catherine Mitchell from the VIS, Kelsey Lee Roberts from the ACT, and Kim Mickle from the Western Australian Institute of Sport. So 6 women to go head-to-head, and, of course, the head-to-head-to-head we all want to see is the 3Ks. And that meet record, Sue Howland, is under threat, Lynchy.
Definitely is. Now, Kelsey Lee and Catherine last week got it right out there, and that was only almost their first competition of the season. And this is definitely Kim's first comp, so I think they can get it right out there. And there's a 4th K getting in there, Kiara Rodingus, a local Western Australian athlete. So her parents have done well, making her a javelin thrower and naming her K. So I think she's got a good future ahead.
Well, if you do have a child in the future, name it starting with a K. If you want to have a javelin thrower in the family,
yeah, definitely, that's the way to do it.
Kate, that's a good name. If you're going to have a kid soon, name it Kate.
What about Kevin?
What about Kevin? Why not?
Interesting name for a female.
Don't rule anything out, Lynchy.
Well, yeah, anything starting with a K seems like you're going to have a pretty good javelin thrower. And certainly Kim Mickle, she's one of the stars and a bit of a legend as well. And we have got that start list on the screen for you now. Lynchy, who's your pick?
There it is. Kelsey Lee is in great form. She did take out the win and took the scalp of Catherine Mitchell last week, but Kim Mickle, I know it's her first throw of the season, but she's on her home ground. She hasn't had to travel. The other girls have had to travel all the way over to Perth. I think she's going to take this out. I'm saying 65-28.
Wow, 65-28. Okay, well, if that happens, then Sue Howland's meet record's gone.
I think the first 3 record.
There you go. Well, Lynchy, glad you've made those calls on tonight's The Love Stream, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. Robbo?
Well, mate, my tip is that I won't be naming my second child Kevin if it's a girl.
I thought you said it was a good name.
Well, it is.
Well,
I'll see if it's going to be a good javelin thrower first. Might be remain unnamed. Look at this. Crowd still streaming in here, boys. Conditions, I've got to say, the wind's dying down a little bit. Hopefully it's reaching legal status as we speak. So settling it down a little bit as the sun sets as well. So the stage is set for some big action. Long jumpers getting ready to enter that pit very shortly.
Rob, I'm just going to go through the men's discus results here. Julian Ruck was the winner there, 62.60. Matt Denny was in second, 59.30. Courtney Hines from Western Australia, 47.22. And Matthew Seats, 42.34. And in the discus throw for ambulant, Guy Henley there, big throw from him, 53.99. Christopher Barty as well, big throw from him, the Western Australian, 27.29. And Jackson Hamilton, 25.48. So a bit of an update there with those discus results. Lynchy, what do you make of them?
Guy Hanley and Christopher Barty, both Australian records for those 2 athletes. So
holy moly!
Guy Hanley took out the discus in his for the ambulant Hunter Track Classic. I think he threw around 49 metres. His PB was 51, and he tossed out a 53.99 in his first throw.
That's impressive.
Well, it's one of the things we saw from the Canberra last week, guys. Matty Danny and Hugh Peacock in the hammer cage. They really set the scene, as we see here.
A little bit of a disturbance of the sand and a bit of a run through.
Tim Maguire just running through there. He's one to watch tonight. And Robbie Crowther just limbering up there, the great man. I used to live with Robbie Jug Crowther. One of the great men of athletics and one of the real men in form in athletics at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you know, these field events, they really have a way of setting the scene for the entire meet. And I think there's a lot of excitement building here. Can we see Robbie jump long? Can we see Kim and the other Ks throw big? And it's going to really, I think, excite the crowd here and hopefully give you plenty to cheer for back there, wherever you're watching, all around Australia and all around the world.
That's right. The meet record for that long jump, 8:24. From Peter Burge, the postman, because he always delivers.
We know another postman, Alex Rowe, always seems to deliver, but I think we might have to get Peter Burge's phone number as well, because Robbie Crowther, he's in form. He might just, bang, jump out a big one.
Now, if anyone was out here, say, around 2010 for the Australian national champs, Fabrice Lapierre jumped a 8.78 here in this pit. So this pit has the potential to go almost 9 metres. It was illegal, but that's still one of the longest jumps of all time. Now, on the runway, we've got Nicholas Van Gelder, trained by possibly the greatest triple jumper we've ever had in Australian history, Andrew Murphy. He's not the Australian record holder, but he's very prominent. And a nice little jump. Looks like he's a bit over-rotated there. It's probably just over the 7 metre mark for Nick. He has a good hard look at it. He's like, yep, got to get my legs out a little bit further as the guys get in the pit to flatten it out. They're a bit annoyed that he must mess it up a little bit too much, but I think we're going to see, maybe just a quick early 7 metre jump. 7.56, Nick Gelder's PB there. Jumped out a Hunter Track Classic. So we can keep an eye on that results board down below.
And it looks like Thomas Solomon is the man next on the runway. So, yeah, it looks like Thomas Solomon about to get his campaign for this evening underway. He's got a pretty big personal best as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's up around the 770 mark. He did get a B qualifier last year. We had a few guys get over that B qualifier, so it's good to see that we just need these couple of more of these long jumpers to graduate over to that 8 metre mark. I don't think we've had a long jumper jump for the first time over 8 for quite some time.
Yeah, they've got to graduate and get on the frame train, perhaps, because that's just about to get underway. He'll be rolling out the next few weeks. But, look, can anyone stop Robbie Crowther at the moment? He's the man in form, but I'll be getting aboard the frame train soon. I've bought my tickets. I'm ready. The conductor, let's get it underway. So, Thomas Solomon just waiting for the wind. Angus Gould will jump after him, and then the man we want to see jump a big one tonight, Robbie Crowther. So these long jumpers will just be waiting for the wind, waiting to get that right wind. Obviously, they don't want to have a 4 or 5 metre tailwind, but they would like to get a bit of an assistance behind them, as we see. That's Vicky Parnov there doing her warm up in the women's pole vault. As Solomon is on the runway, Lynchy.
Well, it's a nice first jump out there. I think he's going to get it out there. Looks around 7 metres 40. I think we're going to be a bit deceptive on that angle. Our camera is a little bit behind it, so we might see that straighten out too. I'm going 7.39 for his first attempt. It looks nice. He's got one on the board. It's good to have your run up nice and sorted early, especially in these gusty conditions.
Yeah, look, that about the 740 mark looks like the sort of performance there. You see Kelsey Lee warming up. Yeah, girl from the nation's capital, Canberra. See some more girls warming up in the women's pole vault. We're shortly going to cross to some highlights of Kelsey Lee, one of the in-form athletes of Australian athletics. Angus Gould on the runway as we speak. As we see Kelsey Lee on the runway. Here's some highlights of Kelsey Lee.
Oh my God! It's Kelsey Lee Roberts.
That's big.
The white flag is up as well.
That is big from Kelsey Lee.
The championship qualifier. She has put herself in contention to go to Beijing. Kelsey Lee Roberts, unbelievable.
That is a great throw. Her second round attempt, and she's pumped.
Nick, I think you can see 63.78. 63.78. That is a great throw there from Kelsey Lee Roberts.
Look at this. It goes high and long. It seemed like it was going to stay up there forever. It went out of screen and, unbelievable. That is huge.
So we saw some great throwing from Kelsey Lee in Canberra in front of her home crowd. And we are about to see the man I'm looking forward to see jump in the long jump tonight, Robbie Crowther. See him there in a great Adidas kit, and of course Adidas is sponsoring our replays tonight, the Adidas replay, and Robbie Crowther there looking good in his Adidas kit, of course the iconic 3 stripes there. So Robbie Crowther just waiting to get the all clear to commence his competition. One of the informed athletes, boys. What's he going to jump, Lynchy?
8:01 first attempt.
8:01 first attempt, okay. Robbo, what do you reckon first jump for Jug?
8:03.
8:03. I reckon 8:11 first jump. He's going to put it out there, get some confidence. Here we go. Crowther on the runway. Whoa. Robbie
Definitely put it out there.
Robbie Crowther. He gets the red flag, unfortunately. So, no, we were all wrong there. He gets 0 metres because his first jump is a foul. But promising signs there from Robbie Crowther, Robbo.
Yeah, definitely. Look, a big red, they call that. And you don't mind that. Plenty of distance covered in the sandpit. And if you can nail that takeoff, we are going to see something big. Get your rulers out. I think we're going to need a couple to get over 8 metres here.
And I've just got a tweet from Nick Bromley. He says, what a treat. Valentine's Day with Robbo, Lynchy and Ollie Worm. So, Nick Bromley, we're glad to be spending with you in your, I don't know where you are at the moment, but Nick Bromley loves the love stream, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He's been a big supporter all season. So, big shout out to the Brom Dog.
The Brom Dog. And so that looks like it is round 1 of the men's long jump. We'll get some results to you shortly. But Robbie Crowther looked very prominent there. He did foul his first jump, but he does look in very good form as you see the women's javelin underway.
We're going to see the women's javelin. They're throwing from the finish line end, so we've got a camera out there on the back straight. So if you're getting a little bit confused about which angle we're going from, we've got cameras perched around the grounds at the moment, but there it is, Liz Parnov, just having her warm-up, so don't mind a long warm-up, but look at that, Youth Olympics silver medalist, World Juniors, Com Games, she's done it all, PB of 4 metres 50, silvers, excellent work there. Let's hope she can break through and get the gold. Great warming up there. More of the Adidas sponsored athletes, the Parnov sisters.
Love Adidas. They live for the 3 stripes. Here's Andrews on the runway now. Jeremy Andrews, one of the hometown boys.
Big gust of wind there. I think he might need to wait. I think that's going to be an illegal wind if he jumps anytime soon.
He's going with it. He says, I'll take it.
He's used it. That's a good jump.
That's a big jump from Andrews.
It's a red flag from the wind gauge, but legal jump on the board, and I think that could be out. That's out there.
Well, we'll see if we can get the result there. There we go. We can see the board there. So that's where we'll be bringing you our results. But that's a good jump. And just keep in mind, we do have the women's javelin getting well underway now. So the 3Ks, I think that's one of the battles we've been looking forward to all year.
There's Catherine. She's got her... 7:55. Nice jumping there from Andrews.
That's a great jump from the local athlete, Andrews. And the javelin, here we go. We are on...
Catherine Mitchell.
Catherine Mitchell. Here she goes on the runway. Expecting a big thing from her.
There she is. Nice big run up. Excellent work here from Kath. See if she can get one out there on her first attempt.
It's a good throw. First attempt, just limbering up there. Looks like around that 58, 57 metre mark. We'll wait for confirmation there. And where's that tape out there, Lynchy?
That's out at 61 metres there. That's the World Championship qualifier. So Kelsey and Catherine Mitchell both have qualifiers from last week.
We're just
going to get 3.
We're just going to wait and see how far that was. They're updating the board now. So we see some locals here really enjoying this night here in Perth. There's a marquee set up by the finish line, some sponsors and fans in the VIP area. Love to get myself in there.
58-52, first round attempt for Catherine Mitchell.
So they're in the ballpark there, so that she'll be happy with that. She'll go, okay, 58.5 metres, I'll take that. Next throw, she'll want to get above that 60-metre mark, and then by the end of the night, really push out a big one. So we can see Kelsey Lee about to throw now. She's got the pink singlet on there, so if we can get a big throw out there, Kelsey Lee, she's in great form.
So if she can carry it into that first round. Wasn't her first round almost around 60 metres in Canberra?
Yeah, she had a great comp in Canberra. As Kelsey Lee unleashes.
Well, I think it went a little bit too high too early and it's dipped down late.
Tim Maguire now on the runway in the men's long jump, the South Australian. Big jump, but a big foul, unfortunately, for Tim Maguire.
I think that tailwind is playing havoc well over the board, but he's wearing a headband.
He's wearing a headband.
That should help him out there. Robbo, what are your thoughts on headbands?
Look, he's got a special Valentine's Day headband, the red, and it's good to see. He's sporting that, but here we go. Kim Mickle on the runway. Listen to the crowd.
Here they go. This is what the crowd has come to see. The local girl lives about 10 minutes away, I was told today. Kim Mickle going to open her account in the women's javelin. Here we go, Robbo. I'm pumped.
We've got a 61 plus here, first throw.
Yeah, why not?
She's got to get on that world qualifiers bus, the world champs. Here she comes.
And Mickle unleashes.
Oh, very close.
Solid opener there.
I was reading in the West Australian this morning. She's been having a little niggle with the Achilles. Apparently her dad, Mick, he unfortunately snapped his Achilles many years ago, so she doesn't want that to happen. And here we can see with the women's high jump here, Lynchy, we've got the start list coming up through here. Alicia Burnett, we saw her in action at the Hunter Track Classic. She is one of the finest young multi-athletes going around.
That's certainly right. 5th at the 2013 World Youth Champs. She made the World Junior Champs, but was injured. Claire Gibson, Brittany Pettit, Amy Pejkovic, who's jumped some very good jumps recently. Nicole Robertson, Hannah Joy, finalist at the Commonwealth Games, and Zoe Timmers, who was a Commonwealth Games competitor too.
Yeah, waving the WA flag. Kim Mickle there, first throw, 58.38 confirmed. So again, a nice little loosener.
Got my ruler out there, measured that precisely, and thought it was around the 59 to 60 metres. So good little opener there. As they move into the second round, you can see the athletes in the hurdles, the women hurdles, just starting to finalise their warm-ups, and they're on the hurdles on the track there, and the women's high jumpers as well about to go underway. So really, it's all about the field events early on here.
Yeah, some great field events. We've got women's high, men's long, women's jav. It's all happening on different sections of the field, and we've got a good crowd brewing at the moment. I like these VIPs right up against the fence, right inside, ready to see that women's jav and the women's pole vault as well.
Look, it's the summer of us, and it's caught on over here in the West as well. It's great to see. I think this, the tour has just been building and building, and we're coming off a great week, a great meet, in Canberra last week. But here's some more action in the long jump pit, and it looks like Solomon.
Not Stephen.
No, he'll be watching though.
He'll be watching.
Big shout out to Steve and Stanford.
How are you, buddy?
Study hard.
We'll go through the women's pole vault start list shortly. We'll see big Tom Solomon with Angus Gould with the long socks behind him, and then Robbie Jug Crowther up soon. Solomon, that's a good jump from him. Gets the red flag though on both accounts, so it is a red tailwind and red on the board as well. Lynchy, pole vault.
Up on the board there we go. Our starters in the women's pole vault. Meet record and Australian record is 4.76 by Alana Boyd. She's got all the records here in 2012. Jamie Scroop Vicky Parnov, Emma Philippe, Nanda Kennedy, Elizabeth Parnov and Alana Boyd. So it's almost a South Australia, WA and Queensland battle here. Only 3 states represented, but we're looking at Alana Boyd, I think, to be the favourite. Pushed hard by the young Western Australian athletes, though.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be a cracking battle there, Lynchy. And if you're in the grandstand tonight here at the WA Athletics Stadium, you have pole position to take in that women's pole vault competition. And obviously the men's long jump, as we can see, happening in front, and the hurdles not far away from a start there as well. As we see Angus Gould, here he goes.
He's getting the crowd behind
him. The customary slow hand clap. Come on, crowd, let's go. Clap at home, folks, too. Angus Gould can hear you.
Here comes Angus Gould, coached by Craig Hilliard. What can he produce here? And not a bad jump there from Gould. Not over that magical 8-metre barrier, but a step in the right direction there for Angus Gould from the nation's capital. And he would have been proud of the Canberra Track Classic last weekend, as we're about to watch.
Here's Kath Mitchell.
Kath Mitchell on the runway. How big, Lynchy?
Oh, wait till it lands.
That's called cheating, that.
Oh, I think it
falls short.
It's getting caught up in the wind, I think, at the moment. Throwing into this headwind might be a little bit difficult. But she's fouled it out. We've got Joggy on the runway.
Oh, Ollie Worm, for the benefit of those watching at home, we might get one of our cameras on, our commentators here shortly, but Ollie Worm is now up out of his seat. He is officially excited.
I'm excited. I remember Big Kev. Now, I'm not going to copy him because that's trademark Big Kev. I wonder where he is now, but I am legitimately excited here. Robbie Crowther on the runway, just waiting, and it's the wind right now. Be perfect. They're getting behind Robbie. $8.12, I'm predicting. $8.12.
7.98.
Foul.
Oh, come on, mate. Sugar, that's big!
That is big.
That's definitely 7.98.
And there's the white flag. I'm glad I'm wrong. That's why I threw that there. Beautiful
white flag
jumping.
there. Here's Kelsey Lee. It's all happening. It is all happening here.
We'll get throw, come back for the performance from Robbie Crowther in the
Kelsey Lee, let's rip at the Jandakot City Track Classic.
Yeah, the wind just battering those jabs down a bit tonight. They're not holding up in the air like we saw them in the altitude, I guess, in Canberra.
They did, the thin air.
Yeah.
Thin air of Canberra.
7.86 from Robbie Crowther. He is an illegal tailwind, I saw the officials put up, so 7.86. Heading in the right direction for Robbie Crowther there. Let's hope next jump he gets over that 8-metre barrier, as we know he's in good nick and then did there in Newcastle 8.03.
Now, what about this, guys? I'll let you run through the start list in a minute, but number 8 in this race, Chiara Redingius. Now, she's just had to bolt over from the women's javelin, come over and run a cheeky 100 hurdles, and then she'll go back and get her throw very shortly. So, commitment from the West Australian athlete there.
That's a big change of spikes too. Hopefully she's not trying to hurdle in javelin spikes, but as we can see here in lane 2, Kobe Evans in WA. Lane 3, Raz Gill, Brianna Bean, Michelle Janicki, Eliana Seymour, Poppy Schweiss and Chiara Redingius.
Might see Michelle Janicki dance soon, but back to the javelin. Kim Mickle on the runway.
Tell you what, they'll be clapping along if this goes big, and here we go. It's Kim Mickle with attempt number 2.
That looks better.
Yeah, she's got some good purchase on that, and there it is!
That's big! That is huge! All right, ladies and gentlemen at home.
That's a 63. That's a meet record.
Hang on. It's a meet record. What do you reckon?
I'm saying meet record.
That's big.
Is it over the 63.94? Ooh, I don't know.
63.94.
Here we go. Eyes on the...
There's a 6. There's
6.
That looks like it could be a...
It's a 3.
3.
63.
8.
87.
63.87. There you go. Get in there, Kim Mickle. Meet record, boys.
No, 63.90.
No. Oh, next round.
Agonisingly close.
Next round.
Cannot give Sue Howland a call there.
All right, it's Hurdles time now. What a great chuck there from the legend. She's much loved over here in the West. And Kim Mickle has got herself that World Champs qualifier. She would have watched the Love Stream last week and seen her compatriots getting that mark. And she had a little warm up.
She's definitely chucked a few jabs from this end of the track, so she knows how to work with that wind. It's her home ground.
All right, Lynchy, it's Hurdles time now. And we're going to have a quick look at the win from last week from Michelle Jandakot.
Well, she ran superbly. Look at this. Off to a good start there was Jandakot, and on the inside of her running well is Abby Taddeo, but off to a clear lead there's Michelle Jandakot. Taddeo running very well on the inside, Elizabeth Clay on the outside, but Michelle Jandakot runs a cracking race there, and she gets the win. 13.04 there for Michelle Jandakot, so I think that's a PB. And look at her, she's shocked. She's happy. So she was a YouTube sensation. Still is a YouTube. She still is a YouTube sensation, sorry, and she's shocked. She's ecstatic. So we will wait for official results there just to see if it is official. But as I said, it is perfect conditions here, a plus 0.8
Well, there you
metre.
go. High fives it was last week for Michelle Jandakot. She smashed her PB. She became the fifth
there
fastest.
we go. She's dancing.
And she's dancing because she's happy. She's still on a high from that amazing run from last week. And we're seeing some fantastic runs from the New South Wales athlete. She ran here last year, finished behind Sally Pearson, who ran a storming 12.59. And she's a finalist from the Commonwealth Games.
Might want to change that PB on the board there. It is 13.04. Excellent work. And recently she's been running some quick 100s. She's run 11.7. Windy, but still, that's a lot of speed.
There she goes again.
She is ready to go. Let's we can get, maybe that wind might settle down for a 2.0, and we could see a 12.99. That would get me excited.
Yeah, well, the World Champs qualifier is 13 seconds here. That'll be her first job, and if she can sneak under that, I'll tell you what, it'll be party time here at the finish line. But watch out for Brianna Behan just to the left of Michelle there, number 4, Western Australian athlete, and she ran well here last year, and I think she's looking to run hard again here tonight.
World Junior Games representative in 2013 in the hurdles, so she definitely knows how to get over the quick. She's been doing some 100-metre PBs as well recently, so she's fast. I think this might be one of her first hurdle races. Just going to quickly cut over to the javelin if we can for...
It's called track and field juggling.
It's tough.
I think we're going to do it.
We've got our eyes on both of them at the moment.
This is the round 3 throw from Catherine Mitchell. And she's got Kim Mickle's mark to chase, 63 plus, 63.87 we saw from Mickle. Mitchell, is she up to matching that?
Come on, Kath. Hope Kath knows that we're waiting for her throw.
It's not helping our track and field juggling here. All right, there we go. She's had the whisper in the ear. Here comes Catherine Mitchell for her third round throw.
Oh, she's tossed it up.
Had a big arc on that one, and again, the wind just knocked it down a little bit short.
Plenty of air time, trying to get it up into that thinner air, but here we go. We made it in time. We're not going to miss these hurdles. We're going to chuck it over to Ollie Worm to call us through this race.
Thanks, boys. Class field here, and see, there she goes again, dancing Michelle Jandakot, sorry. Interesting to see what she can post here tonight. There she is, Michelle Jandakot being introduced to the crowd. And look, I think she'll be looking for another win here tonight. It'd be great to see the wind around that 2.0 and see if she can run quicker than she did in Canberra, which was actually a superb night of athletics. The athletes we had there, and of course the results were second to none. So we'll see if we can replicate some of the results here tonight as well. We're juggling once again Kelsey Lee on the runway. Kelsey Lee Roberts from the nation's capital. She's about to get a chuck out there in the javelin. Not a bad throw there from Kelsey Lee. Not quite over that 60-metre mark yet, but in the ballpark. as Kim Mickle, the local hero, has really set the stage and set the standard for this evening as our female hurdlers go into their blocks for the women's 100-metre hurdles at the Jandakot City Track Classic for 2015. Away in Jandakot, he's off to a good start on her inside. It's Behan, but at this stage it's Jandakot in front. Brianna Behan's giving her something to chase, but it's Jandakot in the side. In the lead, Jandakot. Behan's right by her side, but Jandakot takes it out. In the 100-metre hurdles here, we'll wait for confirmation. A great run there from Brianna Behan there in second place, who really pushed Michelle Jandakot there, Lynchy.
Yeah, very close. Great running there. It looks like Jandakot was going to pull away at the end, but Behan stayed very close. Not sure what happened there. If we believe the clock, they ran sub 4 seconds.
Holy moly.
I think the clock may have misfired, but let's hope they've got it up in their photo finish and we'll see some official timing.
Plus 2.3 metre tailwind, so for those at home, we may see some legal wins in the sprints as Mickle. Lynch, Robbo?
No, here we go. Kim Mickle, just getting excited.
Oh, she's done it once, she's done it again, over the yellow mark, over the 61 metres. She knows how to work these conditions. But I think that tailwind may have pushed the girls just probably a little bit too close to the hurdles then. And I think that might have hindered them more so than helped them. You can get a little bit too close in these races if they're running too fast, these girls.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? The athletes, they can get a bigger tailwind. It can hinder them. They get a bit too close to that hurdle. Robbo?
Yeah, just still waiting to confirm the winning time there from Michelle. I'm sure her coach Mick Zisti was watching at home. He might have had the stopwatch out and he would have timed it, so he'd already know. So if you did time that at home, I know there's some fanatics out there, tweet us in using the hashtag Summer of Aths. Tell us how fast that run was, because we're still trying to figure that out here. And Robbie Crowther, we're just seeing another foul there.
Yeah, this wind is playing havoc with these runs, but I think when we're going to see those ones and twos, it's definitely going to play into the hands of those sprinters.
We might see if we can ask Michelle Jandakot herself what she ran there. We'll see what she thought.
Sub 5's pretty good. Sub 5. No, good running there from Michelle Jandakot there as they're taking the hurdles off the track. We see Zoe Timmers there having a crack in the women's high jump. So it is all happening here. Robbie Crowther there. Another big one. He looked to get out there, but didn't quite put 2 and 2 together there. So still waiting to see Robbie get a big one out there tonight and see if he can really get over that 8 metre 10 mark, which will be a big relief for himself. And he's just having a chat now to his coach, Gary Bourne. And it really is a great vibe here tonight at the Jandakot City Track Classic as we're about to cross to the women's high jump now. We're going to see who's in action there.
I'm going to guess and say it's Brittany Pettit from WA.
There we go.
One of the local girls.
Is that Ellen's younger sister?
Yeah, most certainly would be. She now lives in Melbourne, training for the triple jump with Vasily Groshenkov.
Unfortunately, missing her third attempt at 174. Not sure if that was...
No, mate.
No,
it's
it wasn't.
Claire Gibson.
Sorry, Claire. Sorry, Brittany as well.
So it's just time to take a little breath here, trackside. We're focusing on the women's high jump. It's halfway through in the women's javelin throw, halfway through in the men's long jump. And what's our next track event there, Ollie Worm?
Look, we've got the women's 400 metres open coming up very shortly, and as mentioned in our preview tonight, at the preview, it's going to be a great race. Morgan Mitchell there is really one to watch in the 400 metres, and of course Annalise Ruby's going to give her some challenge. So got the results here in the women's 100 metre hurdles. 13:11 there for Michelle Jandakot, so another solid run from her. Not as quick as her run in Canberra last week, but another step in the right direction. Brianna Behan there, 13:18. Now that would be around her personal best, but it was an illegal wind. And Elena Seymour there in third, 14:01, as Robbo's got a special guest down there.
Yes, thanks very much, guys. And we've just heard
heard there the official confirmation. The winner of the women's 100-metre hurdles, Michelle Jandakot, in a time of 13:11.
Yeah.
Not quite the PB of last week in Canberra, and we saw more to high that must have been. Are you still feeling like high as a kite after that?
Yeah, I mean, I was up until that race. I'm actually very surprised it was that fast because it felt pretty terrible, actually. I just couldn't really get my feet. But the wind was 2.3, so it was pretty gusty behind me, and I really struggled to get my footing with big wind. Just blows me right into the hurdle, so that was probably a factor there.
Positive signs still to take away from it if you didn't feel the best and you're still running those times?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it felt to me really slow, so to have run 13:11, very positive.
All right, excellent. Well done. And what's next for you?
I'm actually doing ACT State Champs next week.
Back to Canberra. Maybe another PB there.
Hopefully.
They treated you so well.
That's the idea.
Very good.
And then, yeah, I'll also be at the Brisbane Tri-Classic and Melbourne Tri-Classic.
Great. Well, you're our current leader on the Australian Athletics Tour point system. So well done, and I'll let you rest up, and we'll see you again very shortly.
Thanks very much.
All right, there you go. Thanks very much, guys.
We see there in the women's high jump, Amy Pejkovic. Lynchy, Amy Pejkovic there in the women's high jump, number 18.
Yeah, 177, first attempt. Got a fair few. We're just taking the hurdles off the track so we can start getting some sprint events underway.
And that was a great hurdles battle there. Of course, we see Michelle Jandakot, but that was huge from Brianna Bian there in second. Unfortunately, it's going to not be a personal best because of the illegal tail in there, but certainly a great step in the right direction. I think before that she was about a 13.4 runner.
Yeah, no, it's good to know that your legs can go that fast. And I know a lot of athletes who have done an illegal run and then all of a sudden they've done that time legally because their legs can do it. So I think there's a lot of potential there. It's a fast track here, but it is starting to get a little bit cool. I know I'm starting to get a bit chilly. I'm moving around a bit. I might have to start doing some push-ups, get the blood flowing. But hopefully some of these races can get me excited and get everything pumping up.
Lynchy, don't whinge about the weather, mate. You weren't down in Hobart where it was a bit fresh. Ollie Worm's lips are only just coming back from being so blue.
Yeah.
The winter of Aths.
All right. Kelsey
Lee, get one out there.
And there's a nice jump from Hannah Joy as well.
Geez, still happening.
And that was at 177. So we'll see how Kelsey went. Another athlete who will still be riding. A great result there in Canberra last weekend as she puts the jumper back on. Here's
Solomon.
Another big jump from Solomon.
I think that could be a white flag. That's a legal wind as well, but it's a red.
Red on the runway. And
he gets a legal tailwind, but unfortunately fouls.
And just for those at home who are pole vault fans, the bar's at 385 as we look at Zoe Timmers there in the high jump, 177, her first attempt there. Zoe Timmers, one of the local girls from Western Australia, but 385 for the women's pole vault means we'll see the Parnovs and Alana Boyd come in a fair bit down the track.
Just on the women's high jump, our points leader in that competition, Eleanor Patterson, a notable absence here tonight, not making the trip to the west, but she took out the win at the Hunter Track Classic with a 191, and she'll be competing elsewhere this weekend. So big shout out to Eleanor. We can't wait to see her back in action very shortly. But for tonight, it's Joy, Timmers and co battling it out for the win in the women's high jump.
And Robbo, I can't help but I can feel the love in the air. I can feel it still. It is Valentine's Day, and the love is in the air.
Everywhere I look.
There we go. We almost made it through the first hour of the love stream without a live rendition. Very nice, boys. I'd like you to rename that next time you see Kim Mickle throwing the jab. I'd like you to sing "Jav is in the air," please.
The jab is in the air.
Requests. We are taking requests via Twitter.
Kim Mickle's on the runway.
All right. Time out from the singing, Ollie. All right, here's Kim riding high. This is her fourth round chuck. She was quoted in the media during the week how romantic it would be to come down and cheer on a bunch of chicks chucking the jav. Well, I'll tell you what.
Here she goes. It's all happening here. And she lets loose at the Jandakot Track Classic.
Just under.
Just under that 61-metre mark as I've just seen the women come out for the A 400-metre race, which should be an absolute cracker. 4 or 5 live chances here and a few different form lines coming into this race as well, Lynchy.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to see a good head-to-head here with Caitlin Sargent and Annalise Ruby. I don't think I'm seeing Morgan Mitchell at the moment.
Yeah, no sign there of Morgan Mitchell. So one down perhaps in the women's 400 metres, but still should be a fantastic battle here tonight. We saw Ruby actually run the 800 last comp, so she's taking that different approach here, perhaps looking to work on her endurance early on and then, you know, peak towards the end of the season. And we should see how Caitlin Sargent goes tonight.
Yeah, definitely hope there's nothing wrong with Morgan Mitchell. She's running into some good shape, 53.0 at Hunter Track Classic, but we haven't seen her come out with the rest of the athletes, so let's hopefully think it's nothing too sinister and maybe she just missed a flight.
Well, the other option is she may have chosen to stay at home and watch the live stream.
She might have had a date. She might have had a date. Valentine's Day.
Angus Gould there. All right, and here we go on the high jump. Let's cast our attention there now.
Zoe Timmers.
Looks like Timmers.
She's a former World Youth representative from South Australia, a PB of 415, Jamie Scroop. She's a former World Youth champion with a PB of 440 from WA.
And, well, we were speculating there because Morgan Mitchell's just come out now. So
Just a nervous wee before the race.
yeah, look, we've for those at home who've gone, oh no, just been informed she is here. So no dramas there. Business as usual at the business as usual. There's the Jandakot City Track Classic.
Misinformation there, boys.
So we're
That's all right.
spreading vicious rumours, boys.
It's great to see her here because, look, this is going to be an amazing four-way battle.
Pejkovic on the runway at the moment.
And how do you pronounce it, Lynchy? Pejkovic or Pejkovic?
Pejkovic. Nick Boych, can you message me again? I forgot what you said before. How to pronounce these Balkan surnames, as he said.
Balkan.
Lift the legs, Amy. Lift the calves.
Suck in those calves.
Yep.
We learned that
At the Hunter.
Yes. Suck in those calves.
That's right.
So it really is starting to heat up here. The action's getting underway in the women's pole vault. The men's long jump is heating up. The women's javelin is heating up.
And
Robbie Crowther's on the
I can
runway.
see your best friend on the runway here, your favourite.
Next man, and for pole vault heads to track B race, women's 400 metres, fulfilled off West.
Robbie Crowther. We saw that beautiful slow-mo of him a bit earlier.
It's like poetry in motion.
To the lovely music. Wow.
You may have heard some poetry from us before, but that was Robbie Crowther.
Look at that. We've got a three-way event going on there. We've got women's pole vault, men's long jump, and women's high jump. You won't miss a thing here on the Love Stream. Unfortunately, a miss in the women's high jump. Here we go.
The women's 400 not
javelin.
far away. They're going from lane 2 to 9 in the women's 400, so no lane 1 like John Akibua did in 1972.
All right, we'll go with Crowther.
Here comes Robbie Crowther. Can he get over that 8-metre mark this evening? He's waiting for the wind.
Feels like it's picking up a little bit.
Here he goes, Robbie Crowther. And a decent jump
that's going
there.
to be a foul.
Just
a big one on the board.
A little bit of toe.
Stomping down on that foul board. Unfortunately.
We haven't quite seen the best of him just yet tonight in the long jump. But Robbie Crowther's still got a couple of jumps up his sleeve. So we'll stay tuned and hope Robbie can get over that 8-metre mark. As Robbo, who's up next in the jab?
Yeah, this looks like KLR from CBR. It's Kelsey Lee Roberts.
In the JAAV.
Oh, thank you, Lynchy.
It's a couple of extra A's in there.
It's round 5 in the women's javelin here at the Love Stream. What's Kelsey got for us?
59.24. Just short.
Doesn't seem to be at her best yet tonight, but that can change in one throw there, Robbo.
All right, here we go. Some action in the women's pole vault. Emma Philippe.
Oh, easy as you like.
Don't mind.
Never in doubt.
tough work with these pole vaulters not having bibs on the front.
Now, women's pole vault, of course, Alana Boyd probably is the early favourite there. The two Parnov girls, ones to watch. Nina Kennedy as well. She's cleared 4:41 this season. Emma Philippe has cleared 4:30 this season. So there's about 5 girls who have cleared well over that 4-metre mark. And as we know in pole vault, if it's not your night there, you might not even clear it at a height. And it's anyone's game in pole vault, Lynchy.
Yeah, Alana Boyd actually at Nationals last year was a no-hider. Yeah, but I think we might chuck to the javelin for Kim Mickle, one of her last round throws.
It's Mitchell, actually.
Catherine,
the purple.
The order.
Yep.
So it looks like it could go Catherine to Kim.
Still breezy out here. These javelin girls will be throwing into the wind still. Catherine just taking a moment to compose herself, and in she comes now into the approach for her 5th round throw. What can she do here? She releases, and just as a gust of wind comes up there to knock that jab down one more time, 55-ish.
You can see that wind really affecting the jab in its flight. It's just making it dip really quickly, and unfortunately, it looks like Kim's just got the local knowledge. She's probably thrown from that end 100 times a day.
She's got a lot of power in these parts of the world. She probably just knows how to calm that wind down. I'll tell you that here's the tip. The reason why they're not throwing the other way is that the Western Force are training out the back here, and they didn't want to be in the firing line if Mickle and co got onto a big one. So that's why we're throwing the way we are here tonight.
Just received a tweet from Tim Rosen, a very keen athletics fan. He tells us Eleanor Patterson was not here tonight because she won gold in the under-20 big champs today.
I thought she may have been. It was affected by weather there last night. A big storm rolled through Melbourne, but good to see they got.
Down to Eleanor Patterson.
Here we go with Kim Mickle.
On the runway.
Just slipped out of the top of the hand there, I think. Putting a little bit of off brake on it, but still getting it out, just shy of 58 there.
Yeah, some good throwing there in the women's jab, and we're about to get our athletes in the women's 400 metres. We'll get the start list up shortly, as we can see on the screen, the women's pole vault.
And a couple of our miler boys just getting a little headshot on the love stream there as well.
Who was that? Was that
Zach Patterson.
There you go.
From Sydney. And that's another easy clearance there. 4 metres in the women's pole vault.
Now, the women's 400, we've got a great battle on our hands. As he said, as I mentioned earlier, Ruby's come from that 800 metres last rate. Mitchell's in good form. Lynchy, run us through the field.
All right, we're going to have in lane 2, Summer Walters. In lane 3, Beth Vanderwall. Lane 4, Morgan Mitchell. Lane 5, Caitlin Sargent. Lane 6, Annalise Ruby. Lane 7, Lindsay Pekin. Lane 8, Leanne Hodge. And actually, the switch that I'm in, lane 9 is Summer Walters, and lane 2 is Rebecca Newton. We want to keep an eye on lane 4, 5, 6, and 7.
And the World Champs qualify 52 seconds here as we see our athlete to watch, and she's got a PB, Morgan Mitchell, of 52.22, which she won in a storming win at Nationals last year. And the other podium getters that day are out there on the track alongside her. Some great battles. We've seen Ruby and Sargent Lynchy having great battles. Throw Mitchell in there now as well. It's a mouth-watering prospect every time these girls hit the track.
Beat record 51.01 by none other than Kathy Freeman.
She was a handy runner.
She was all right. She might have done. I think she did a couple of 400s over the few years.
Big shout out to Kathy. I'm sure she's watching there at home on the love stream.
Well, boys, it is a class field. Who's your tip?
Morgan Mitchell. Caitlin Sargent's going to go out hard. Morgan Mitchell's going to come home strong. Ruby in the middle. It's going to be a battle in the last. It's going to come down to the last 50 metres.
Here we go to our fans at home. One of the highlights of this evening, the women's 400 metres at the Jandakot City Track Classic. Just some unsteadiness there initially, so the athletes standing up, and we'll be called back to have another start here. As mentioned, our athletes will be running, no athlete in lane 1. They'll go from lane 2 to 9. Of course, no one wants to run in lane 1, the tightest lane to run in, unless, of course, you're a champion of athletics and can win the Olympic Championship They win the Olympic gold medal from lane 1 like John Ekibua from Uganda. But not too many people can do that.
How is the John Akibua fan club going, Ollie Worm?
It's good. It's just me and one of your mates from Sydney.
JAB. We see some more great action coming up here in the women's pole vault. We're just stalling and settling for our next crack at a start in the women's 400. And there's the call, on your marks.
Here we go. Women's 400 metres in the blocks. One to watch here. Probably Morgan Mitchell, but there's 4 or 5 right up there challenging tonight. So away now in this women's 400 metres from the inside. Walters, Vanderwall, Mitchell, Sargent, Ruby, Pekin, Hodge and Rob. As they go down the back straight, Ruby's running well early on, as is Sargent. Morgan Mitchell's trying to go with him, and Pekin, one of the local girls, running well. As they're about to go through the 200, Caitlin Sargent's run a great race, and Morgan Mitchell just waiting to go. 200 to go now. Looks like Caitlin Sargent's really set it up. Lindsay Pekin running well on the outside, and Morgan Mitchell with some work to do. Caitlin Sargent's going to lead them into the home straight with Lindsay Pekin running a gallant race there on the outside, and Vanderwall running well. Caitlin Sargent in the lead. Can Mitchell get to her? Ruby starting to come into it now, and Lindsay Pekin running well. Caitlin Sargent in the lead. Can Mitchell get there? I don't think so. Caitlin Sargent's going to take out the 400 metres here at the Jandakot City Track Classic. Robbo, look at the clock there for the unofficial time.
53.23 unofficial there. So great running there from Caitlin Sargent. She ran 53.56 to come second at the Hunter Track Classic behind Mitchell, but tonight it was the Queenslander taking the W.
Well, Caitlin Sargent there, she's flipped it, Lynchy. What do you reckon?
Definitely. She just did too much work too fast, too early. Got that lead down the back straight. Tough work into the headwind down the back, but she wound it into the home straight and just held her off. And Mitchell's usually pretty strong there, but just didn't have enough left in the tank.
Yeah, swirly conditions, it must be said, for the 400. Here's Kath Mitchell with her final round throw. As she releases, she's looking for something big. That looks a bit better, but still just falling short there. And that will complete the night for Mitchell, as we have a little look here now at the women's pole vault action.
Great run there from the local girls. We see on the runway now Vicky Parnoff. She's got a big jump in her soon, no doubt. One of the local girls here. You see some of the girls finishing up there in the women's 400. Great run there from one of the local girls, Lindsay Pekin. Great run there from Caitlin Sargent. Really took the race with her hands around that 200 metre mark, and they could not get past her. So Vicky Parnoff here just waiting for the right time to jump. Of course, the wind here tonight is a bit all over the place, and Kim Mickle as well. So it really is all happening here at the Jandakot City Track Classic, Lynchy. Does it get much better than this on Valentine's Day?
It doesn't. I don't know if I've spent a better Valentine's Day than this, but here we go.
And Vicky Parnoff is clear there in the women's pole vault, the bar at 4 metres. Back to the action in the javelin.
Yes, here goes Kim Mickle. She's about to give her final chuck of the night. What can she do? And just short, not bettering her previous mark of 63.87. So that'll take the win tonight. The World Champs qualify. We've got our first here at the Jandakot City Track Classic. And great throwing there from Kim Mickle. But I've got our recent track winner here, and it is Caitlin Sargent. She's just catching her breath, and she's just hanging out on the steeple here. And Caitlin, congratulations. You had to hold on for a gutsy win there, and holding off the likes of Morgan Mitchell and co. How was it out there?
Pretty tough. It's very windy out here today, and pretty cold for a Queenslander as well. So wasn't exactly the conditions I was hoping for, but I just knew I had to kind of control myself down the back into the headwind and try and use the tailwind coming home.
And with those conditions, yeah, not easy, but you've come away with a 53.23, improving on the mark where you finished second at the Hunter. You must be pleased with how that's going, but you know that there's plenty more to come.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. I was hoping to go sub 53 tonight, but look, as long as we're moving in the correct direction, which we are, can't be too unhappy.
Look, final thing, explain the bit of a purple patch for the Queenslanders at the moment. What's going on up there? Brittany McGowan, we're seeing great results there. Robbie Crowther in the long jump. What's happening north of the New South Wales border at the moment?
We just breed them tough up in Queensland.
might be the answer. You've just complained about the weather here, though.
Yeah, so we're just it's just a really good community up in Queensland. All our club meets are really strong at the moment. We have 11 heats of the 100 metres, so I think it's just the depth.
Yeah, excellent. And you're obviously looking forward to the Queensland State Championships in a couple of weeks, combining with the Queensland Track Classic.
Yeah, have to see. Normally I'd like to run 1:24 at State Championships, but we'll just have to see how it all fits in with having to run rounds for Track Classic.
Yep.
But it'll be really good practice leading into nationals, running rounds against the girls. So.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing you go a sub 53 by plenty up there in Brisbane in a couple of weeks' time.
Sounds good.
Well done. There's Caitlin Sargent. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Robbo. Great win there from Caitlin Sargent. Really saw her go head-to-head there with Morgan Mitchell. Great run there from Annalise Ruby. She ran the 800 metres last week, so she'll benefit a lot from that run. And then, of course, a great run from Lindsay Peake, one of the local girls, and she was part of the Australian team at the Commonwealth Games. So, great run there in the women's 400. The men's long jumps still underway, and the women's pole vault's really starting to heat up. So, the bar in the women's pole vault is at 4 metres 15. As we see on the screen there, Lynchy, the women's javelin results.
Yeah, a couple of good throws over 60 metres there. 63.87 her best, but she's got 2 more over the mark. That was Jamie Scroop on the runway before, but looks like Catherine Mitchell's taken second place again and switched the places with Kelsey Lee Roberts in third.
Well, boys, I'm certainly enjoying this track meet so far. Some highlights. Mickle already. I think Crowther's got one brewing. He's like the Bunsen burner, just getting heated up. Come on. What do you reckon, Robbo?
Hit the button there, Lynchy. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm on the board.
I was eyeing off 5 or 6 world champs qualifiers at the start of the meet tonight, and we've seen one already. We've locked one in. Robbie Crowther, I must admit, had his name next to one of them in my little prediction book as well.
Yep.
And I think he's got one. If he can just get the conditions right, line things up, and nail one, I think we could see something very, very special there.
Well,
so
here's Tom Solomon on the runway in the long jump. Of course, training with Gary Bourne. Here he goes.
Oh, that's on the board.
Solid jump there from Tommy Solomon.
2 white flags. Jamie Scroop, 4:15.
And that's a great sign for those at home watching, looking forward to the 100 metres. Maybe Maddie Beckett would like to know this. A white flag there on the runway for the long jumps. So the wind's under that 2 metres, or around 2 metres or under, which means Mel Breen might be able to get that legal tailwinds.
Look, the conditions are absolutely stunning here. It's a beautiful Perth twilight evening, summer evening. It's getting a little bit chilly, it must be said, as we heard Caitlin Sargent mention there.
I got told that I shouldn't complain about the cold over here, mate. Now you're whinging about it.
No, I'm not complaining.
Oh, okay.
Just stating the fact it has actually got a little bit cooler.
Oh, okay, it's all right then.
What would Jandakot say?
Our producers just put on the Athletics Australia hoodie, so that's a sign that it is getting a little bit cooler if the Melburnians are rugging up. So, but a great night, and we're seeing some fun action on the track at the moment, but we're keeping our eyes here on the Love Stream with the women's pole vault. And just on this one, I mentioned about the World Champs qualifiers. I had a couple in this event as well, Ollie. The standard there is 4 metres 50. That's the height we need to see these girls get. And when your name's Alana Boyd, 450 is very possible any day of the week. She's been building up really nicely, running off half run-ups and clearing decent heights already this year. So if the Parnovs can get going, Alana Boyd, we might see something pretty special in this comp as well.
Yeah, we could see a few athletes get that 450 mark just throughout the season. Both Parnovs are capable, and even Nina Kennedy or Emma Philippe. But we haven't even seen Alana Boyd come in just yet.
Here is Vicky Parnov on the runway, bar at 4 metres 15. Bang, easy as you like. That's breakfast for Vicky Parnov. Easy. She's the female post woman to deliver that with ease.
Post person, I think that's the politically correct.
Look, people aren't mailing as many letters these days. There's not as high a demand, the postman or woman.
Outlook Express. She's the Outlook Express.
There you go. Always delivers.
Everything
No
is going
spam.
electronic these days, isn't it?
Don't forget, Summer of Ads. That's the hashtag we want you to use. Send us some photos of how you're watching it at the moment. We want to see what you're doing at home for your Valentine's Day.
dim the lights, put the candles on. I know it's getting late over there in the east. It's only early here in the west.
Bit of John Paul Young in the background.
Oh,
Lovers in the
Barry White.
Diana Ross.
Yep. So, box of chocolates.
Rod Stewart, he's a bit of a legend.
Marvin Gaye.
Ah, there we go. We've got the guitar here, Lynchy. We can knock out a few love songs. If you've got a special someone in your life, a love song dedication, you can do that as well. All right, call the action here for us, Wormy. We've got another jump happening here in the women's pole vault. And I'll tell you about a special tweet.
Here we go. I think it's Emma Philippe there on the runway. And she's clear. This women's pole vault is just starting to heat up. The bar's only at 4:15. These girls are all capable of 4:30, 4:40 plus. What do you got there, Robbo?
Look, this is some fantastic bit of banter on Instagram, and we would love you to get involved using the hashtag Summer of Us. This is sprinter Jin Soo Jung, and lovely photo of Jin, all dressed up, tie and shirt, cufflinks on. He's poured himself a wine. He's sitting there with the candles, and he's watching the love stream. Only problem is he's got a whole bunch of seats there, and no one's in them, so he's on his lonesome. And a big shout out to Jan. He said since Perth took Jen Cowie away, I guess love stream will do for Valentine's Day.
Now, I'm just looking out of the track now. There's a bit of a celebrity sort of race on. We've got a few celebrities out there. It's the Wally Foreman Foundation 400 metre relay. And one of the local heroes, Ben Offerins, he's running a 404 with the microphone. Now, I'm not going to say it's the first time it's been done, Robbo, because you and I have both done something pretty similar. But Benny Offerins is out there running the 400 with the microphone as we look at the women's pole vault.
Oh, what about that?
Clear as well.
That was an aggressive clear.
Right back up on the feet.
That was
Bruce Lee.
Well, she could have recorded a good long jump there as well.
I think so. That was lengthy.
That's how you jump over the castle wall, folks. Which I believe that's where this event originated from.
That was a moat jump.
So some great action happening here, and we've got another little dedication here, a special message to go out, and it's Emma Craft's birthday, and she's watching in Alice Springs, and she's been a huge supporter of the live or love stream so far, and her fiance Brad White. So a big shout out to everyone watching in the Northern Territory.
G'day up there in Northern Territory.
We know they don't have a track classic there yet. We're working on that for next year.
The Darwin,
and
the DTC.
But a big happy birthday.
Here
up
is
there to
Liz
Emma.
Parnov getting ready to have a jump into the women's pole vault on the runway there. Andrews in the long jump. It's all happening here at the Jandakot City Track Classic. It's Valentine's Day. You're watching the love stream, and here's Liz Parnov. And easy as you like, 4:15. So we've got around 4 athletes clear at that mark now. We haven't even seen Alana Boyd yet in the pole vault, and that's big.
That's a big jump in the long jump.
It's one of the local boys.
Andrews, Jeremy Andrews.
Jeremy Andrews, I think it is.
Anyway, so
that looks like a good jump.
Jeremy Andrews popped a big one out there in the men's long jump.
We saw a 7:55 from him earlier, but he's putting pressure on these other interstate athletes.
We love seeing the locals lifting at their home track classics.
7:59.
Oh, God. Great jump. As Robbo's about to be joined by the 3 Special Ks, the 3 champion jab throwers of Australia. Robbo.
Look at this. I'm calling this a world first. The Triple K sitting on the interview steeple, and we're going to have an exclusive interview. I've got Kim Mickle here. She's taking out the win tonight in her hometown. How good does that feel?
Bloody good, actually. I feel like a school kid up here.
The naughty step. Sit up straight, girls.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't give us a spelling test, because I can throw a jab, I just can't spell it.
Now these two sitting next to you managed to get last week the World Champs qualifier, 61, and we know you're capable of doing that most days of the week. And you had to jump on that bus, didn't you?
I did, yeah, and I just sneakily wanted a few extra centimetres on these girls too, so I think we're now all about 10 centimetres away from each other, so I did that on purpose. No, but the conditions out there tonight were actually really, really difficult. So I'm really, really pleased. Like, I was very iffy about even throwing here because of my body's not doing too great at the moment. So to throw in these conditions and not feeling too great is, it's really exciting.
We mentioned on the call Kim Mickles, so influential over here in the west that you can control the weather. Was it true that you could just dampen that wind down a little bit while you got that big throw out there?
Yeah, well, I was checking out. They had a biomech out, Andrew Little, and he had a wind gauge, and somehow on my 63 I nailed a 1.4 wind, which I think the smallest one besides from that was like a 2.8, so score.
All right, now we had Maddie Denny calling the shots earlier tonight, something we're doing on the Love Stream tonight. I'm going to put you in charge, and I'd like you to lead the interview from here on with your javelin throwing colleague. So it's Kim Mickle in the Love Stream.
Let's talk about Let's talk about the boys that do the interviewing tonight, because it's all about athletes and never about those guys. So how do you think their performance went or is going tonight?
How do you rate them out of 10? Not too bad, I think. Yeah. I think they're pretty up there with their knowledge, and they look. What a better face to present athletics than these guys.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, good job.
No, we are so good at this.
All right, good. I'll come back in and I'll come in and bail you out. Kelsey, Kelsey, have you stopped smiling since last week with that big chuck in Canberra?
Does it look like I've stopped smiling?
You don't look like you ever stopped smiling.
Dimples in my cheeks now constantly.
Now, how good is this? Next week we get to see you guys in action again. Yep. Achilles being all well.
Yeah, I'm just about to go to the physio right now, so we'll see how that goes.
Sort that out. But Catherine, you threw particularly well in Adelaide last year, I remember, early on.
Yep.
And what is it about Adelaide that you think helps you throw well?
I'm not sure.
Or you're just damn good, doesn't matter.
The conditions were pretty bad, though. I remember the wind was crazy like tonight, a little bit different direction, but I was in better shape this time last year and ready for a big throw, so it came on the first throw of the first meet. So that was handy.
All right, very good. Well, we look forward to having 3 weeks of javelin action. Any more questions? Anything coming to you?
I noticed a guitar over there, actually. Yes. I'm a bit nervous, but I know I know Mitcho can play as well a bit.
Love song dedication? What do you got? More than words?
I only know death metal, so it's not really good for
well, what we'll do, you girls can go over and sort yourselves out, get the ice pack on, do some practicing.
Yep.
We'll get you back later on.
All right, no worries.
And,
it's a nice guitar, actually.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, steal it.
You guys hang out there, keep practicing. We're going to throw it back up to the commentary box. Thanks for spending time with us, the Triple Ks, Special Ks, and we'll throw it back to you, Ollie Worm.
Thanks, Robbo, and we're about to see some of our 200-metre races. They're about to get underway. So we're having the men's 200-metre B race on the track first. So away now, and a good start on the inside is Seaton Pouzet. And a good run here. Looks like Cody Beatty's in the lead with on the outside. Mebble, Nathan running very well, but it looks like Cody Beatty's going to take out the B race of our 200 metres here, 22.68.
Plus 2.5 for that race, so let's hopefully... It doesn't actually feel like a 2.5 right now, but I wouldn't mind if it settled down a little bit, if we're going to have the open 200 metres very, very shortly and see a nice big tailwind.
Well, Lynchy, it's going to be a great field there in the 200 metres. Alex Hartman, he ran an absolute cracker last weekend in Canberra, 20.59.
Ridiculous. And we've got Nick Boylett, he's out there, he can go sub-21. There's a few other guys with the potential to go that sub-21. I think we've got Hugh Donovan. Hugh Donovan out there, he could definitely do it. He's got a PB of 21.06, I think it is. And James Gallagher.
The young man.
That's
15 years old.
Honestly, that's who I want to see. He ran 21.73 at 13 years old. That's faster than Bolden ever ran at that same age. He's absolutely ridiculous. He's a YouTube sensation. If you haven't already seen his race at 12 years old when he ran down one of his 4x1 competitors, he's just he's the future.
Yeah, he definitely is. It's going to be very exciting to see him step up to the big time here tonight. He'll know this track better than anyone else in the field. He's a West Australian local, and he's the only WA athlete in the field, and he's only a teenager. And big future ahead for James Gallagher.
I'd have to say he'd be obviously the youngest male sprinter to run a track classic, I think, in history. I can't think of any other 15-year-old who's ever run a track classic.
No, maybe Georgie Clark, Tams and Manu back in there. They were pretty gun juniors. Gianna Pittman. There is a scratching as well on the men's 200. Tom Gamble of the Old Melburnians Athletics Club there in Melbourne scratched in the men's 200 metres. So hope to see big Tommy Gamble probably around Sydney, running a 100 or 200 up there, but we've got the start of this there, Lynchy.
There we go, James Gallagher in lane 2, Will Johns in 3, Boylett in lane 4, Alex Hartman at 20.59 last week in Canberra in lane 5, Elfie Mustafa from Singapore in lane 6, Cedric Dubler, who was just in our long jump, the decathlete, doing the 200, which isn't in the decathlon, but Matthew Short, the other Western Australian, flanking this race in lane 8.
Just a quick one on Cedric Dubler, the Queenslander. He currently holds the world lead in the decathlon, and he stepped up to his first open men's decathlon earlier this year, so big things ahead, and he's obviously keeping busy tonight.
And Alex Hartman, the world lead in the 200.
Wow, world leaders.
World leaders, Australia, just world leaders of a lot at the moment.
Well, it's good to see, and Alex Hartman, can he go quicker than last week? That'd be fantastic to see. If we get that 2.0 tailwind, you never know what's going to happen. And we've got a bit of a gun lurking around now with Robbo. We might just cross to Robbo quickly before the men's 200.
Yeah, look, I've got the winner of the men's long jump, and we're going to have a chat to him about the long jump very shortly. But, mate, you're strapping in, as we all are, to watch the men's 200 here. You've been racing against these guys lately, Hartman, Boylett. Who's your pick here?
Mate, I'm going Hartman.
Queenslander.
Yeah, Queenslander for sure.
You got a time? You got a time?
Mate, I'm going 20.6.
Are they?
Yeah.
There you go. 25.9 in Canberra.
The track gets a little bit dead after 7, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes.
All right, mate. Well, we'll throw it back to your number one supporter, Ollie Worm, up in the commentary box. He'll call this one for us, and hang around if you can. We'll have a chat to you about the jumping.
Cheers, boys. The men's 200. I think it's going to be a great battle between Boylett and Hartman. Great experience, as we mentioned, for young James Gallagher, one of the real superstars of Australian sprinting, as we've got a lot of youngsters coming through. Jack Hale as well, unfortunately not here, but the future of Australian sprinting looks good as the athletes go into their blocks, Lynchy.
Alex Hartman, 20.44.
Alex Hartman, 20.44. That's Lynchy's pick. Let's see how it unfolds. The one to watch, Hartman from 5 and Boylett in 4. Away and off to a good start was Hartman and Boylett as they go around the bend. Looks like Alex Hartman continues his good early season form. Next to him is Elfie Mustafa from Singapore. It's Hartman in the lead. Boylett's trying to go with him. Now Hartman starts to open up. Boylett's trying to go with him, but he's not going to get there. Alex Hartman with Boylett lunging late, 21.22. Unofficial there. Plus 3.0. So not quite as quick as we saw in Canberra, but a great win there to Alex Hartman in the 200 metres, and Nick Boylett really pushed him all the way there.
It really shows just how fast Canberra Track Classic was. 21.22. It is a little bit windy, and I don't know, maybe they're getting a bit of an extra wind around the bend, and it is a little bit chilly, but 21.22 didn't really blew my prediction out of the water.
Yeah, look, it doesn't seem to be as quick as Canberra. It's not as warm here tonight, but great running nonetheless. Just a quick update on the women's pole vault. The bar is now at 4 metres 25. 4.25 women's pole vault. And amended results there in the women's 100-metre hurdles, just to confirm that with the 13.11 was the win for them, Michelle Janicki. 13.18. Great run there from Brandon Behan. As we see the replay there in the 200, Hartman just looks so strong there off the bend, starts to run away. Boylett's trying to go with him, but this is just where he starts to put a bit on Boylett, and Hartman runs away.
And I think James Gallagher may have got up for 4th there. The lane draws were definitely different to what we saw, but very good running there. Great finish right at the end.
All right, great call there, boys. And he hasn't left us, but he's hanging around. What about that? He got up. You picked it well.
Yeah, buddy. You know, the Perth Track Classic, you know, after it would be good to run in the afternoon because the track gets a little bit dead, and showed out there on the long jump. Finished with a 786. I'm not too happy. Got a few rocks in my head at the moment, just thinking and processing too much during the jump. So, yeah, we've got to work on that. Gary and I will go back and try and fix that up and come out in Brisbane and jump there.
We spoke about it earlier. Tough conditions. The Fremantle Doctor at your back and very swirly and unpredictable winds. I mean, how much does that get into your head? You don't know what you're going to get dished up each time.
Yeah, look, we're looking always for those tailwinds, and we got that tonight. It was swirling around. It was a bit like Newcastle, but
yep.
Yeah, I knew it was during the day, and it was bouncy. So, you know, you can't always blame the track in all those conditions. So, you know, we got to, you know, just put our heads down and go for it. And it didn't come off tonight, so I'm not happy about that.
Mate, I'm sure you and Gazza will work hard, and we'll see you back better than ever very shortly. But what about, just finally, your good mate Ollie Worm? Could you hear him screaming for you from the commentary box here as you were heading down the runway?
Mate, I could hear him running down there. It's always good fun with Wormy. The Bendaga boys always have a bit of fun, so it's always good to have him in the background, and you know it's him.
Well, mate, he hasn't had a hug today from his favourite long jumper. It's Valentine's Day, so get over there and give him a hug. That'll make his day. All right, I'll let you go. Thanks, mate. Thanks for spending time with.
Well, Robbie Crowther's my Valentine, it seems. Robbie's about to come give me a hug now. Thanks, mate. It's nice to be loved. Cheers for that. We've got the men's 200-metre results there. Lynchy.
Oh, very close race there. 21-21 for Hartman, 21-22 for Nick Boylet. I didn't think it was that close.
Neither did I. He really came home late, didn't he?
Yeah, Elfie Mustafa, 22-02. James Gallagher, 22-14. Done very well there. Beaten Cedric Dubler, 22-19.
Oh, look at that. A kiss and a hug. Robbie, Ollie Worm, for once he's lost for words.
I am lost for words. I am... It's made my Valentine's Day.
You better have a sit down, Ollie.
I think I might need to sit down. The heart rate has just hit new highs, really.
Oh, there you go. Robbie Crowther, bit of work to do for the Jugster.
Now, just while we see Liz Parnov there, women's high jump, the winner there was Zoe Timmers from the Western Australian Institute of Sport, 1 metres 80. Hannah Joy was in second in 1.77. Nicole Robinson was third in 1.74, as was Amy Peshkovic. She jumped 1.74 as well. So Zoe Timmers, the winner from the Western Australian Institute of Sport, 1 metres 80, as Liz Parnov is on the runway. She's looking to go airborne at 4 metres 25.
Oh, she does it with style.
Easy as you like.
Liz Parnov there. Recently jumped a 420, so there you go. Comfortable at 425. PB of 450, which is the World Champs qualifier. And if she can keep jumping with that sort of ease, she'll have no problems negotiating the 450 mark. So this is going to go deep into the night, the women's pole vault, and we're going to see the quality rise to the top as we head into the business section.
Now, I've just got a tweet from Adam Bishop, heavily involved there in Athletics in Australia.
He's the CEO,
he's
heavily involved.
That's quite involved.
You got your sleeves right up when you're CEO.
Apologies there, CEO. I wasn't sure whether he was the Chief Executive Officer or the Director. I didn't want to give him a false title, but it may be cold in Perth, but Adelaide Track Classic was originally supposed to be tonight. It was 41 degrees here today, so imagine that.
Well, there's the heat that Jugi was after for his long jump runway.
Big Jugi and
Jamie Scroop on the runway right now in the women's pole vault.
Oh!
Definitely using the pole there for that spring. That was a foot and a half.
Bit of blue tack on the bar there, maybe.
Yeah, well done. She nearly tried to sit on the bar last attempt, so
yes.
I think she might need to bring the bar probably a little bit closer. That's just, you know, from all my years of pole vaulting, that's what I found. If you can't get over it, just bring it closer.
Do they even do pole vault at Mingara there, Lynchy?
I don't know if we have any bags.
There's some at Newcastle.
Oh, I can borrow them.
The blue track.
But there we go. Hashtag Summer of Ass. If you want to get your tweets out there, your Instagrams, let us know. If you send us a good photo of you watching the live stream, we can put it up on the love stream.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Show us your screens. Where are you watching from, folks? Just get the mobile device out, snap where you're watching. A Little love heart signal. Holly Worm wants that.
Vicky
And-
Parnov on the runway. Here she goes. Bar at 4:25. Not clear yet.
Just not letting go of the pole.
Got to get let go
We're
of
going
the
to talk
pole.
to our friends at Pacific Automation, suppliers of electrical and electronic engineered products to the mining and petrochemical industries. Our friends at Athletics Western Australia.
So there's the crowd. Barely a spare seat now. It's really filling up here at the WA Athletics Centre. And it's only just begun. We're set for some more great action on the track and in the field. And the entry was free, part of one of the great initiatives here tonight in Perth. Jandakot City, the naming sponsors of the event, helping out, and the doors were flung open, and that's why I think we're seeing some of the big crowds here tonight.
That's right, Jandakot City, the premier commercial industrial estate in WA. Proud sponsors of the Track Classic out here.
I'll put it out there, Lynchy. How about we see some of the field events? Maybe we could see a jav in the estate next year. The shot put.
Yeah, shot put. Shot put's always the easiest one to get in there.
All right.
Well, where's
Are they
the
building
Whispering Eagle?
Are they building Are they building a track out at the estate?
The
Practice
place
track?
of the Whispering Eagle. You'd think so, but we've got such a great facility here.
Well, they do. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be great to perhaps see the Jandakot estate there hosting some of the athletes perhaps in the estate.
I'll put them up for the week. You know, we've got a village.
They might not leave if it's good, which I'm sure it is.
It is the premier commercial industrial estate in WA.
Great to have them on board this year. As we see some more action here in the women's pole vault. Call it for us, Ollie.
Philippe there.
I like it.
4:25.
Gee.
She needed everything to get over that bar. I think there's millimetres in that.
She whispered sweet nothings to the bar as she went over there. And just said, stay on, stay on.
The Jandakot.
Yes.
The Whispering Eagle.
Look at that.
And we haven't even seen Alana Boyd yet, just quietly, so she's trying to keep warm.
Tracksuit still on for Alana. I think she's just there in the maroon Queensland tracksuit tonight. Proud Queenslander.
And Lynchy,
here we go. The clap.
Not far away from the women's 100.
Oh.
But we'll get back now to Vicky Parnov, Perth girl. Here is Vicky Parnov on the runway. Yeah, she had it there. She's got the height. It could be her for the night.
Just coming down on top of the bar. Wind has settled down a little bit, but it could get gusty up the top there when they start reaching those higher heights.
So Robbie Crowther confirmed there as the winner.
That's right, in that long jump, 7.86. Thomas Solomon, 7.59. Equal second, Jeremy Andrews, 7.59. The local lad, Angus Gould, 7.52. Van Gelder, 48. Tim Maguire, 44. Sergi Dubler, 38. Really tough conditions. All the boys, minimum tailwind, 2.4. But we are ready for the 100. The women's 100 metres very, very, very soon.
Melissa Breen, what can she do here, Lynchy? Great run in Canberra, 11.27. I think she ran quicker than what she expected she would run. What can she do here, mate?
Well, I did earlier call 10.99, but it is a little bit cold. So up on the board, Razvinda Gill, already done the hurdles tonight in lane 2. In lane 3, Christine Byrne from New South Wales. Lane 4, Ashley Whittaker. Lane 5, 11.11, Melissa Breen. In lane 6, Michelle Cutmore. In lane 7, Brianna Bean, who also did the hurdles earlier. In lane 8, Emily Longo. And in lane 9, Thea Higginbottom. They're your starters in the women's 100 metres A final. As you can see, they're getting called out in the middle, announced to the crowd.
Yeah, and Mel Breen, guys, took out the win here last year. Sal Pearson was going to run, but she didn't back up after a dominating performance in the hurdles earlier in the night. Mel took it that night in an 11.31, a Commonwealth A qualifier, and it was a 1.1 tailwind that night. So Mel Breen, I'm expecting her to go quicker than that. So let's see what she can do after the hype and everything that was built up around Canberra last week. Let's see what she can produce here on the track in Perth.
Ash Whittaker ran a very good run in Canberra. We've also seen Michelle Cutmore running running well, and Christine Wern won the, not talking about myself, Christine Wern, she won the Ballarat gift last week of a mark of 0.25 metres, so she is in pretty good form. But look, I'll be looking for Melissa Breen here to take out this 100 metres. It's just a matter of how quick, and we hope for a legal tailwind.
Definitely, definitely. See if she can get herself another one of those World Championship qualifiers. As the ladies get down, the tracksuits are probably going to stay on for a little bit longer today. It is a little bit chilly. Wind starting to come a little bit across the field. But let's hope that wind can settle down. Jamie Scroop on the runway in the women's pole vault. 4 metres 35. And she, plenty of height there, but just hitting it on the way up. Maybe she took my advice, move the poles closer, but a little bit too far away. And on the screen, Melissa Breen, personal best, 11.11.
Well, it's a pretty impressive run when she ran that in 2014, and her coach, Matt Beckenham, has been plotting out a different path for her this season, so if you want to see Melissa running well, perhaps at the World Champs really hitting her peak around then. So for her to run 11.27 in Canberra was a big step forward. No doubt she'll be looking something around that ballpark again, if not a touch better, but really working to take that next step as she heads towards the World Champs.
Just a quick one before we get underway here in the women's 100. Another bit more love on Twitter, and we've seen one here from Laura Whaler. It's been sent in by Adam Rabone, and Whaler was excited for the Duke Worm makeout sesh, and she's holding up the mobile and the thumbs up. So there you go.
Well, just to clarify, everyone at home, Jug and I did not make out or anything, but we're good mates and have lived together. But certainly, Jug and I are good mates. There's no love there, but a friendship of love, certainly. But good to see that Adam Rabone and Laura Whaler watching the live stream at home. G'day, guys.
Supporting Summer of Ass.
Always work to be done. So, look, we've got the pole vault there. Philippe on the runway. 4 metres 35 the bar is at. Oh, not far off it.
So, as we hear over the loudspeaker here in the stadium, Tommy Nixon's got them all lined up, ready to go. Much anticipation here for the women's 100 metres. There's Mel Breen just going through her pre-race ritual.
Love the pink kit there, Robbo.
Yeah, pink's great. It suits the Valentine's Day theme.
Indeed. She says she hasn't got one yet, so boys at home, she's looking for one.
And if you can recall the race at the Perth Track Classic here last year, they had to restart it, as I mentioned earlier when I spoke to Mel. She obliterated the blocks. She's been doing so much strength work that she actually shifted the blocks, and they were kind enough to restart the race. So when you're Australia's fastest woman, I guess these things do happen.
Indeed, and certainly one of her strengths of the race is her block start, and she's a lot of stuff in the gym there to work on her strength, and you know, she's always finding those 1%ers, the small things to get the best out of herself, and her and her coach Matt Beckenham really work hard on that in the gym, on the track and everything, all those small things as well. So they're really fine-tuning her, seeing if she should go under that 11.11 barrier in the next year or two, and ideally by Rio coming and hitting her peak.
So that's definitely those 5 lanes we want to watch. Christine Wern, Ash Whitaker, Mel Breen, Michelle Cutmore and Brianna Behan. They're the 5 lanes to focus on, but it looks like it's going to be in the middle.
Just had an athlete clear at 4:35 in the pole vault. We'll update you as soon as possible, but it is the women's 100 metres at the Jandakot City Track Classic. The one to watch here, Melissa Breen. Should get away well coming out of lane 5. And a bit of unsteadiness there. They were in the set position, but they're going back into set. So and just have a look there, Robbo. Look who's tweeted us. Kathy Freeman, one of the greatest athletes in Australian history, 20 you guys, Robbo. How do you feel?
Oh, there you go. As to be expected, enjoying the live stream. Great to see, and I hope you're enjoying it, Kathy.
What a legend of our sport. What
Fantastic.
an absolute legend.
Just checking in to make sure that meet record still stays, I think.
It was safe. Safe tonight, Kathy. I think it might be safe for a while.
Well, I had a number on speed dial, but we are now ready for the women's 100 metres. Take 2 at the Jandakot City Track Classic. Breen 5. Away clean this time, off to a good start. It was Breen. Trying to go with her is Cutmore and Whitaker and Wern running well on the inside. Mel Breen's in the lead, trying to go with her on the inside, but it's Mel Breen with the victory in the 100 metres. 11.42 unofficial with a plus 2.8. 11.42 unofficial there with a plus 2.8. A great run from Ashley Whitaker on the inside. Wern had a good run, as did Cutmore and Bean, but no doubt about our winner there. Melissa Breen backing up well from her run in Canberra last week. I think we do underestimate the travel coming all this way over to Perth, but Mel Breen's got the job done, got the win, and let's hope Maddie Beckenham gives another tick of approval. 11.41 there officially for the win. Lynchy, what do you think?
She just had it from the start, and that 30 to 40 metres in the middle of the race, her transition, pulled away from the field and just held it. Good finish there from Brianna Bean, but I think it may have been Ash Whitaker just on the inside to take second, possibly between Bean and Christine Wern for that third place.
Brianna Bean's had a night to remember. Great run in the hurdles as we look to the Adidas replay there. And Mel Breen just gets away well there. Her first few steps, and about this mark here, she had the race won. Whitaker coming home well, as was Bean and Christine Wern, but no doubts about our winner, Melissa Breen, the Australian record holder from the ACT. 11.41, I think it was confirmed as the official time with a plus 2.8, girls. So Alana Boyd in the pole vault.
Ooh, hitting it on the way up.
Looking
her
like
first attempt, tracksits off.
Had it comfortably there, I thought.
She definitely just moved the bar a little bit further back. First attempt at 4.35. We're going to talk about Youngs Holden, another friend of the live stream. Youngs Holden are proud to be sponsors of Athletics WA. Located in Victoria Park, Youngs Holden makes buying and servicing cars an easier and happier experience for everyone. Come in for a rip-roaring deal today.
Good on you, Lynchy, and thank you to our sponsors. And of course, this sport couldn't happen with our sponsors. We just saw the Adidas replay there. Adidas, the shirts we're wearing tonight, supplied by Adidas, and they are top quality.
The 3 stripes, I'm a big fan of the 3 stripes.
German engineered shirts.
There we go.
You can see there the AS, Adidas, 2XU, the
2 times U.
2 times U.
I would have been told by the CEO when we did say 2XU, he said, sorry, it's 2 times.
2 times the human performance, boys.
That's
Get with the program.
No, great sponsors of our sport, and also the compression gear they have is top-notch quality, and you see a lot of athletes here tonight, especially when they warm up and warm down, in the 2 times U gear.
Well played.
And we're seeing the Twitter sphere and Instagram being flooded now with lots of messages for the love stream. Tamsin Manu, it's getting late over there in Victoria, and she said she's struggling to stay awake. She's having to use toothpicks, but she can't wait for the 800, and she says, go Katza, referring to Catherine Katsanavakis, and it's the women's 800 metres, not too far away. Stick out for that one, folks. If you're on the East Coast, we know it's getting late, but stick with it.
And Robbo, while I'm there, I heard a rumour that Tamsin Manu might be running in the not-too-distant future. So just a bit of goss on the street, as Lynchy's going to go through the 100-metre results.
We're going to get Mel Breen to talk to Robbo. Before we do, we got the official results from the 100. Breen, 11.41. Whitaker, 53. Bean coming home late, 56. Christine Wern, 59. Cutmore, 86. Emily Longo, 88. T. Higginbottom, 12.16. And Raz Gill, 12.65 with a 2.8. Robbo, who have you got on the steeple?
Yes, well, it's funny, there's not even a steeple here tonight, but it's being well used and well loved, and it's currently propping up Australia's fastest woman, Melissa Breen, and she's taken the win out here tonight. And
thank you.
You've got a smile on your face. How was it out there?
It was okay. Technically not a great run, but Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. Obviously, got to run faster, but I didn't execute my race perfectly. I actually wasn't too nervous. We had a few issues at the start, and some interesting things went down in the call room tonight. So, all in perspective, yeah, it was okay.
Okay. Now, you mentioned there a few things to work on. You'll catch up with your coach, Matty B, maybe even tonight. He'll be watching the stream. What's he going to say to you, do you think? What are you expecting from the coach?
I'm expecting probably my first 10 metres wasn't great.
Yep.
And I probably lost it at the end in terms of back position. So,
well, there you are, Matty. We saved your phone call.
That's what
don't have to worry.
Be, but it's another run, it's another win, it's more points to get towards Melbourne and running the final there and then on to Nationals. So, yeah, we're back running the 2 in less than an hour, so it's a busy night.
All right, very good. We've been let you get away, and we look forward to cheering you on in what will be one of the last events of the night.
Thank you very much.
All right, there we go. Mel Breen, back up.
And it's Philippe there on the runway in the women's pole vault. Almost clear at 4 metres 35. Great to see Melissa Breen with a great run there in the 100 metres, and she's going to back up in the 200 metres. So great to see her running the 1-2 double at most meets. And no doubt her endurance is really going to go through the roof, as we saw her run a great 200 there in Canberra, around the 23. Just on a 23.5 she ran there, so certainly if she can work on a 200 metre time, get it down around 23.0 or even under, then that's going to really help that back end of her race, as she is extremely strong, her first 30, 40, but always work to be done for most track and field athletes, whether it be a step you make or the way you move your arms, Lynchy, but there's always something an athlete can work on.
Yeah, you never want to run the perfect race.
No, you don't.
How do you improve?
Exactly, yeah, that's spot on. I mean, unless you're, an athlete like John Akibua, Olympic gold medalist, or probably, we talk about Kathy Freeman, a race like that in Sydney 2000, home crowd, Olympic gold medal, just the weight of a nation on her, and she got it done. That was almost a perfect race.
Yeah, it wasn't the fastest she's ever run, but
no.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get it done.
She delivered. She was the postwoman that night.
She was. There's been a few. No emails back then. I'm sure there was, actually. I didn't have a computer in year 2000. Yeah.
Liz Parnov getting ready to have a crack at 4 metres 35.
Definitely
on the runway.
Getting that tar right on the hand, keep that grip nice and tight on the pole.
And Alana Boyd's really just starting to warm up tonight. We saw her, the first glimpse of her just recently. In the background, great to see some little athletes getting a chance to showcase their results. But here is Liz Parnov on the runway, one of Australia's top pole vaulters. And she's clear at 4 metres 35, and she's pumped.
Look at that. You beauty.
Parnov.
I think she's taking the lead in the competition now. If that was her first attempt. Alana Boyd already missing one attempt at 4:35. That could put her in the lead.
Let's not, we've mentioned the weather a little bit tonight, guys. Let's not forget the atrocious weather that Glasgow dished up for the final of the women's pole vault over there last year. And I was lucky enough to be there 10 rows back from the track that night. It was very, very exciting, but only a few of the girls actually made the height that night. Alana Boyd, clutch jump, took the gold, and she's all class. It's going to be great to see how she goes tonight in the next few jumps. But here we go, the men's triple jump. Lynchy, I know you're a big fan of this, and mate, talk us through who we got starting.
Love the triple jump. We've got Rowan Vigano from ACT, Nathan Zemak from WA, Dennis Finnegan, Victoria, Tete Anang, Queensland, Josh Lumley from New South Wales, and looks like we're going to see Tim Maguire again. He's just finished the long jump, and hopefully he didn't have to go to the call room again because he was already at the pit, and he's doing the triple jump as well. So those boys are going to be jumping alongside the women's pole vault. There's Alana Boyd back up on the runway. Unsure if this is her second or third attempt, but she's already missed, from what we've seen, one attempt at 4:35, and hopefully we can get another one out there.
Looks like Alana Boyd about to have her jump at 4 metres 35. Looks very comfortable with her first jump, just one little minor area there, but no doubt she looks like she can clear this height this evening.
With ease.
With ease. Yeah, that was a 470.
Yeah,
that was a 470 clearance, and she's probably got bigger poles out the back when she needs to get the higher heights.
Let me get this done. I've got to go on a date. Come on, it's Valentine's Day. That was easy as you like. And there's
look out. Here's Coach. He's Wallsy.
Nick Wall.
That's big desk day 2 at juniors. He's in the office very late.
The big V.
What time is it in Melbourne? It's 11.
It's tomorrow, nearly.
It's 11:07 in Melbourne, and he's still in the office working hard.
Stick with us, folks. We've got plenty of great hits coming here tonight, and taking us out, I think we're going to get a love song from Ollie and Lynchy. But yeah, if you're on the East Coast, stick with us, folks. If you're on the West Coast, you've got no excuse. Stay up and see it through. We've got more great action. The women's 800 coming up very shortly. McGowan versus Katsanavakis. But this women's pole vault, it's going deep into the night here in Perth. And we've got Jamie Scroop.
Jamie Scroop on the runway. Can she clear 4 metres 35? She's had a great competition tonight. Oh! Not far off.
Not bad. Waving to the crowd. That's obviously her last attempt.
And we've got the women's 800 not too far away. Some class athletes are assembled here. The meet record, 2.00.71. 2002, Yolanda Seplak.
Oh, I remember that race. What a race. Seplak, she's good over 8.
In the Australian record here, Charlene Rendina, 1976, 159.00.
Will we ever see that one go? We talk about Ralph Dobell's record. Well, it's been equalled, but Rendina, Tamsin Manu went close.
17 times, I think, under 2 minutes.
Incredible.
She's class, Tamsin Manu. She's class.
And we just might be able to flick around and see some of our 800-metre chargers getting ready here. Britt McGowan just peeling off the tights. Selma Kajan. She'll be looking for a good performance here tonight in the 800. She ran a 2:01 overseas last year. And the Victorian Catherine Katsanavakis.
Tim Maguire just doing a hop, step and step in the... that's the double jump. That's the new event. And he's leading in the double jump.
Emma Philippe about to get underway in the triple jump. We'll go through a bit of a preview of the women's 8. There's a few athletes in contention there. Robbo?
Oh, no, go for it.
No, mate, just...
No, please, after you.
Sorry, mate.
I'm just getting excited. I love the 800.
It's a tough day. Robbo's married. You know, he's got a Valentine. But me and Lynchy don't have one. They're trying to set me up with Jook. It's tough.
Get on with it, mate. 800, who are we looking at?
Look, I'll just go to the pole vault now. Emma Philippe, and then we'll cross to the women's 8, but that's going to be a cracker. Philippe on the runway.
Pretty quick. Probably could have used it over the back straight, but that's all right.
Oh! Great effort there. So, Robbo, let's get back to the business. The women's 8. Look, Brittany McGowan's an athlete who's been in a lot of good form early season. She might find this a bit sharp tonight. Abby Delamont, a bit of a smoky I'm going to put out there tonight. She's going to have a good race. Selma Kajan has been in good form. And Catherine Katsanavakis, Tamsin Manu gave us a bit of a tip. So, look, anyone's race in this field, and I hope they can go, you know, under 204, 203 would be great. Maybe quicker, I might be wrong. But what are you thinking, Robbo?
Yeah, look, I think you're probably about on the mark there, and you're right. McGowan's going to be very, very tough to beat. As we see, that's the start list there. And Keely Waters from Abby Delamont, Selma Kajan, Katsanavakis, McGowan, Holick, and there's Rachel McCormick out there in lane 8. So, look, I think this is going to be an interesting battle. One thing I'm a bit concerned about is Brittany McGowan and Mel Duncan. They appear to be joined at the hip. Now, McGowan's come across here to Perth. There's no Mel Duncan here tonight. I hope this is not suffering any separation anxiety on Valentine's Day. So, yeah, great run last. Brittany, she's favoured over the 800 metres. Last week, we saw her claw her way through, come from 10th to 2nd in the final 250 metres at Canberra. She is a gutsy competitor. She'll be very tough to beat tonight, but I'll tell you what, there's a couple of classy runners in the field. Maybe we'll see a repeat of the 400 where the favourite was taken down by, you know, one of the fancied chargers, and we might see Katsanavakis make it her night tonight. Let's see.
Yes, Robbo, and Ella Solin's going to run the pace tonight. So,
very good for Hurler, World Junior representative for Hurler from WA. Sub 60-second for Hurler, so bit of class there. No for there is a for Hurlers tonight, so maybe she's just not ready for those races yet. Maybe get paid big bucks for pacing.
We still haven't seen Lauren Wells. We're not too far away from that. The event after the 1 mile Herb Elliott run. Not sure if we're going to see her tonight, but
Plenty more photos coming in here. We've just seen one from Nick Huff. We'll see if we can get our team maybe to bring that up at a choice moment a bit later on in the night. But send us through how you're watching, and if you happen to have a rose between your teeth, then that's all the better as well. It is Valentine's Day. I hope you're enjoying it. Only a few hours left for some of us here in Australia, but here they are lined up for the women's 800 metres, a 2-lap event. This is going to be a cracker. And Ollie, looking forward to hearing your call here, mate.
Thank you, Rob. I'm looking forward to this race, and it's still Valentine's Day where we are. It's 8:12 at night, so never too late to get a Valentine. I won't hold my breath.
Look, it's Valentine's Day for a long time yet in the States.
Well, that's true.
In other parts of the world, so
You can just catch a plane and chase Valentine's Day around the world.
That's right.
We could get one for next year.
And there's always next year. That's right.
So it'll be interesting to see what sort of pace the pacemaker is going to set here. I haven't received the inside word of the time, but I imagine it would be under the 60-second barrier, around that. They're away now. We've got the clock in the top left screen. It's from the inside. It's
Solid is running at like a 400 at the moment.
Delamott, Kajan, Kastanvakos, McGowan, McCormick, and the pacemaker has gone out hard. So Ella Solin is heading down the back straight, and I don't think the athlete's going to go with her initially, but Kastanvakos positions herself well there.
She's definitely, the pace has pulled up a little bit to get back on the pack. It's going to be hard work for her to start winding it up again. They've gone through in about 28 seconds, so it's a pretty hot pace at the moment.
So Selma Kaja positioned herself well there in second. McGowan in third. So Kastanvakos is in second there. McGowan is just behind her. Kajan, Delamott, and Water. She set a big pace here. Kastanvakos starting to wheel her in. McGowan, she's in great shape, been running well around Australia, and they're going to go through in around that 60 and a half second mark. So McGowan takes the lead. Kastanvakos gets onto her shoulder. Kajan looking comfortable, and she looks like she's ready to pounce at any stage. Delamott just biding her time.
Big move there by McGowan there, boys. This is going to be one hell of a final 300 metres here.
And we saw her training partner, Melissa Duncan, make a great move last week, which really set the race up for her. Delamott starts to make her move into third. Kastanvakos still in second. Kajan in fourth. And Kelly Waters sits in fifth. But it's still Brittany McGowan. Has she got the strength and the fitness to hold on? Kastanvakos sitting in second. Delamott, and here comes Kajan. McGowan still in the lead with around 120 to go. Selma Kajan peels out. Delamott's not gone either. McGowan in the lead. Less than 100 metres to go. Selma Kajan's got her in her sights. Delamott gets out to the wide outside, but McGowan in the lead. She's going to hold on here. Delamott comes home late, but a great and gutsy win there for Brittany McGowan. Selma Kajan in second. Abby Delamott in third.
2:05.06 unofficial there on the clock, Holly.
Great run there by the girls, and McGowan, just like Melissa Duncan did in Canberra, made a move with around 300 metres to go, and they could not get to her. So great running by Brittany McGowan, and she'll be happy with that. 2:05.06, a step in the right direction, as we hope to see them low twos soon.
Another track classic, another win for the Queenslander, Britt McGowan. Previously trained by Pat Clohessy. She's moved down to Canberra now. She's in a house with the likes of Lissy Duncan, and she's being coached there at the AIS, and so look, she had to do it the hard way. She went out very, very early. It looked like she almost wasn't going to do it, and just grinded out her opponents who weren't classy enough tonight to keep with her. But plenty of encouraging signs there. Look, it is still early season for these girls who'll be looking to peak around Nationals time in a good month or so.
Yeah, a great run from her. Abby Delamott, also an athlete who's stepping up from that 400.
And we can see here just in the last 100 metres, Delamott, she's coming from fourth here. She has to come around Kastanvakos. She makes a bit of a move here, and she slowly reels them in. And look at this.
The Adidas relay, it's all happening.
Oh, and there's a successful jump.
4:43.
That wasn't live, Ollie. That was a replay.
And here's McGowan just finishing it off there.
That was a replay, but it's all right.
Yeah, she's clear anyway. But the women's 8, great running there. We saw the Adidas replay.
And here's Boyd on the runway. Women's pole vault.
This is live.
This is
right, we're back live.
Ladies and gentlemen.
4:43.
Oh, just on the way up.
Early contact.
Work those bars out, moving backwards and forwards, probably backwards.
And we just saw the men's milers walking out onto the track, and they'll be doing battle very shortly, and we'll tell you a little bit about that event. Very, very excited to bring you that one tonight. We might see if we can get a chat with the women's 800 metre winner. And we'll stick with the women's pole vault because this is going to be a gripping battle.
Looks like probably Alana Boyd. I think there's only 2 left. Alana Boyd's going to have at least 5 minutes now between jumps.
And we're getting into World Champs qualifiers. If we can get some heights here, we're going to go very close to the 450 required.
And this is live, boys, just to clarify.
It is live. Interesting choice with the 443 to go to from 435. They've gone up to 8. Not sure what the tactics are there.
Mr. Peter Watson, MRA. Yeah, look, 443, interesting height there. You do wonder, I guess, what decided her to go to 443 rather than 442 or 444, but obviously some reasoning behind that. Robbo, what do you got there, mate?
Well, I've got my hands on some silverware here, and this is what's going to be fought for very shortly. As we can see, it's a big lump of silverware. The winner of the Herb Elliott Mile will take this home tonight, and this dates right back to 1960.
Oh.
And this is for the winner of the Herb Elliott Mile. Herb Elliott, a champion of Australian athletics and Western Australian athletics as well. And we'll give you a bit more background on that shortly. But here's the next jump in the women's pole vault.
Oh, that's big.
That's a PB.
That is big, Philippe. It's gone clear. That is superb jumping there. The 2 times you...
Oh, that's Kennedy.
That's Kennedy. That is a great jump.
Nina Kennedy. I think that's 1 centimetre on her PB. What was her PB before? 442?
We can confirm that, Lynchy.
Nina Kennedy, that is great
It's
jumping.
amazing.
She is stoked.
So she's jumped 441 already this year.
Oh, that's a 2 centimetre PB.
Ollie Worm's going to tell me the PB in a sec.
It's 443.
I think it might be.
It is now. If it was 441. That's good jumping. Clutch jumping as well.
That's what you want to see now. Alana Boyd.
Pressure on the Boyd.
Pressure building.
Yeah.
Liz Parnov jumping well. So
that's a great. She could have a good scalp under her belt here to have Alana Boyd.
Here we go, Lynchy. The next bit on the track is the men's 1 mile Herb Elliott run.
All right, we've got Ben Chamberlain, Philo Saunders, Tim Norton, Tom Forthorpe, Christopher Dale, James Hansen, Mark C, Ethan Hayward. And it's a big field in this race. Also Zach Patterson, Tom Beard, Josh Tedesco, Scott Tamlin, Jack Stapleton, Michael Oroga and Luke Matthews. Now this is a race there's a few different areas. I think this is a real big junior race. You got Zach Patterson, Jack Stapleton and Luke Matthews. All 3 went to World Juniors last year. Mark C representing the WA athletes. Philo Saunders, one of the elder statesmen. Michael Oroga, a para-athletic champion distance runner, and I know this is very close to Robbo's heart. I'm going to cut it over to Robbo, but before we do that, we're going to watch Alana Boyd's one of her attempts at 443.
No, not clear at 443.
Unlucky. Robbo, over to you, mate.
Yes, thank you very much. Look at this. Here's our men for lining up for the Herb Elliott Mile. It's a tradition here over in Perth, and look, I can tell you what, the last time a WA man ran a sub 4-minute mile here in WA, well, it was 1958, and it was Herb Elliott, and I'm holding up the book here, The Golden Mile, all about Herb Elliott. So it was here 15th of February. So it was the day after Valentine's Day, 1958, 3 minutes 59.6. Now, I'll tell you the special thing about tonight's race is that Mark C probably is our favoured WA athlete to be the first man since Herb, first WA man to break sub 4 minutes here in WA. So that's going to be exciting. Josh Tedesco also representing the state, so it's going to be exciting. And look at this. Speaking of exciting.
Oh, Nicholas Hoff.
Nicholas Hoff.
He's found himself a rose, and he is enjoying the love stream.
I think he's mid-tango.
I think he is. Look at he's got the dancing shirt on.
The love stream is a little love place where we can get together.
All right, not far away from a start here in the men's mile, the Herb Elliott mile. Who will we see jump under 4 minutes tonight? Last year it was James Magoo. We'll see if we can get a camera here on the start line of the mile, and we'll come back to the pole vault as that happens as well. They're all in readiness now. They'll run the 9 metres here, 9 point something, and then 4 more laps to make up the mile. The famous distance. Will we see sub 4 tonight?
And we do have the clock here tonight for you at home watching on this superb Valentine's Day, just to have a look, and perhaps if you are a coach at home watching the athletes, you can see the splits. So just trying to help out those at home as they're away now. Lynchy.
Off and running very fast outside. Looks like we've got our WA athlete on the outside pushing the pace. He's gone out quick, just like our 800-metre pacemaker does. But that looks like it could be Tom Forthorpe settling down very tidy there, followed by the tall figure of Zach Patterson, Luke Matthews and Jack Stapleton. So they're starting to string out. We want to see them string out. We want to see a fast pace. But you might see them come around at the 300-metre mark, which is actually the 1,500-metre mark. There is a mark there, so we might see some timing for a 1,500.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see the splits for the 1,500 tonight. I'll tell you a little bit of the form guide in terms of mile running. In 2014, Jack Stapleton from New South Wales ran a 4:01.29. That's his fastest. And Zach Patterson, 4:02.49, the Victorian. That was over in Canada in a pre-meet before World Juniors, I believe. So the boys have peppered 4 minutes, but they haven't gone under it yet. They will be eagerly wanting to do that. And I think on current form, they'll go very, very close. Both of them running really, really well at the moment. Mark C ran a 3:45.84 to win the WA State Champs only 2 weeks ago on this track. So he's in good form. He'll need to run a little bit quicker than that. Around the 3:42.43 mark will get you in the ballpark for the sub 4 minute mile. So let's call them home here, Ollie.
Alana Boyd in the runway, so we've got a bit of action happening.
That was to stay in the game.
Not clear at 4:43. Back to the mile. Looking very good there is Zach Patterson as he latches on to the pacemaker. Running well just behind him is Tom Forthorpe. The New South Welshman there, Jack Stapleton, is running well. Luke Matthews just shuffled back there to around the 5th spot there.
And Christopher Dale tucked in there in the white singlet behind the orange singlet of Jack Stapleton. So stringing out nice and fast. It looks like the pacemaker might be pushing his limits at the moment there. I think he might be pulling off the track shortly. But they're going through 810 metres in about
2:01.56.
So 2:01.56 there, Robbo. Anyone's game from here. Who do you like? Who's looking good?
Look, I like the look of the youngster out the front there. Young Stapleton, the redhead, and he makes his move there right on cue. Thanks very much for that.
Jack Stapleton makes his move down the back straight into the lead. Run a good race here all the way. Zach Patterson, the man there in the red singlet. Looks like young Lukey Matthews there starting to fall backwards, which is a bit surprising to see.
And that's, speaking of C, that's Mark C in place number 6 there in the black singlet, the WA local, and he's just sitting there behind the pack. And you'd think if there's going to be men that'll run 4 minutes here, it'll have to be in those first 6 or 7 placings. The good Dr. Philo Saunders, he'll have a very level head on him. He's running just tucked in behind there as well. Tedesco a little bit further back, but here they come.
They're about to get the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. One lap to go. Let's hopefully get a sub 60-second lap.
Went through there in 3:04.56. Stapleton and Patterson. It looks to be a battle between the young bucks here. This is going to be a ding-dong battle down to the line.
These two had a big battle at Zatopek in the 3,000 metres under 20, but these two guys both did the 1,500 at World Juniors, and we see them cracking down the back straight there, shoulder to shoulder. Zach Patterson on the inside, Jack Stapleton on the outside. This is a good race.
And it is really starting to heat up with around 200 metres to go. In the lead is Zach Patterson. Trying to go with him is Stapleton. 150 to go. The Victorian now, Zach Patterson. He's in the lead. Can he hold on from here? Anyone's game. Athletes coming from left, right and centre. It's Patterson in the lead. And he's going to run away.
There comes Mark C on the outside.
Mark C on the outside.
3:55.
The clock's ticking
Come
over.
on.
Can he go
Come on.
for?
Oh,
Just
so
over.
close.
4:01.89 there, Robbo.
Oh, and that's why it's so tough to get under that 4-minute mile.
More
Jeez.
people have climbed Mount Everest that have run a sub 4-minute mile.
Well, there you go. Well, there's only been 7 runners to do it here at what has been the Perth Track Classic and is now the Jandakot City Track Classic, and it remains 7. James Magoot, Collis Birmingham, Paul Robinson all did it last year. Unfortunately, some of our best young middle distance runners in Australia weren't able to crack that 4 minutes tonight. Geez, they had a good go at it though in the dying stages, Lynchy.
They had a big dig. That's a tough race.
And I like the look of Mark C. We talked him up, the Western Australian athlete in good form. Here we go.
Pole on the runway, 4 metres.
Oh!
It's all happening!
Oh! World Champs qualifier!
Qualifier.
We're on the bus to Beijing.
We get the bus to Beijing.
Yeah.
Nina Kennedy is clear. You'll be able to.
Wow.
She's on
Happy
fire.
Valentine's Day.
So much love. So much love for the pole vault. Look at that. There's the hug.
Oh, it's all happening. Alex Parnov, he's a happy man. Love is in the air.
I'll tell you what.
Here we go. Is this? Oh,
that's Paul Burgess there.
Look at the love in the crowd.
Love is everywhere.
She's shocked.
The love stream.
She doesn't believe it.
The love stream has just lit up.
And they do say, all you need is love.
They do say that.
Da, 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 da. No, that's great to see, and she's clearly ecstatic with that, and everyone around her who's worked with her towards that goal there. That's just a great clearance of 4 metres 50, and we've got so many pole vaulters in this country who can clear around that 4:40 plus now. Kennedy. That's class jumping there, Lynchy.
That is. Well, now we don't need to worry about it. That is her PB. 4 metres 50.
We've got an Adidas replay coming now. Nina Kennedy on the runway, looking good. Plants in the box, bang, over!
Oh, look, and
that was just
bit to spare there too.
That was pure class. That was a 4:53.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be tough to top for a celebration. We might see if we can get a chat with our men's mile winner here.
And don't forget, Liz Parnov.
Come and have a rest
she's
on
still
the
alive as well.
on the steeple.
So it's heating up here in
Well
the
done,
women's pole vault.
Thank you very much.
Well done, buddy.
Thank you.
Liz Parnov on the one way. We're just going to cross to this now and then cross to Robbo straight after. But Liz Parnov here, can she respond to Nina Kennedy's 4 metres 50? Here she goes, waiting for the right timing. It's been a great night of athletics. Boyd didn't clear that 4 metres 43, and you can see she was frustrated. But here is Liz Parnov on the runway, the local girl. Conditions and the wind has dropped. Superb here.
It's very still.
And Liz Parnov is close there at 4 metres 50. Robbo, you've got a guest.
Yes, I do. I've got the latest winner of the Herb Elliott Mile over here in Perth. It's Zach Patterson from Victoria. Mate, congratulations on the win. I guess a bittersweet feeling. You would have loved to have cracked that 4 minutes. Didn't quite get there tonight, but you had a strong run.
Yeah, still really happy with my run. Obviously, 4 minutes is a big barrier to break, but
it'll happen.
Couldn't quite get there, but real gusty winds. But I was more happy with the way I took upon the race. You know, I stood up, sort of controlled the race leading at the front, and that was one thing I really wanted to focus on after Hunter. So I got myself in a pretty average spot in Hunter. So my main aim was to come here and race better.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So I'm happy, but I wanted the 4 minutes.
Yep. It'll happen, and it was great to see you working together there, a good bunch of 5 or 6, and then you made that pace in that final lap, and unfortunately it just wasn't quite to be. Maybe on a cooler, calmer night it might have happened for you. When's your next opportunity to run a mile? Do you do many of them?
No, there's not many run here in Australia. It's more obviously 1500 base, but it's always nice to run one every now and then. Like Vic Mile Champs just coming up in Victoria. I'm not sure if I'll run that yet, but we'll wait and see to make a decision.
All right, next race for you. What's coming up?
Vic Opens, and then obviously Melbourne.
Yep.
We're in Sydney with a big one, men's 1500 there. That'll be one I hope to get into and go for that 340 barrier.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
All right, mate. Congratulations. You've taken it out tonight. Well done. And we'll see you again on the tour very soon.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Zach Patterson, back up to you guys.
Robbo, thank you, mate. Good to hear from our winners this evening. And shortly coming up is the women's 400-metre hurdles. And Lauren Wells is in great form, and some athletes around her are also running well. I was very impressed with the run of Sarah Klein in Canberra. And also running well is always amongst the money is Jess Gooley. So we'll shortly cross to the women's 400 metres hurdles very shortly. The women's pole vault still underway. The bar's at 450. We're not sure what height Nina Kennedy will go to next. But what a great night of athletics it's been. We see Liz Parnov really try push for that 4 metres 50.
Well, she's being upstaged by her younger training partner at the moment. So I think she's going to have to do it. She's going to pull something out. Not sure how many attempts she's had just yet. But very shortly she'll be on the run away. And jumping, getting herself set. Women's 400 hurdles, very close to starting as well. Starting to wind down to the last few events out here. See the men in the 100 behind their blocks getting ready. So there's a few more sprint events to go. Come on, Liz. Let's get over. We're at the triple jump as well on the right-hand side. It looks like it might be a red flag. It is a red flag, but here we go. Liz on the runway. Let's get her over the bar. 4 metres 50. Qualify for Beijing.
Here is Liz Parnov on the runway. Can she clear? 4 metres 50 in the box. Not clear.
All right, looks like we've got some 400-metre hurdles action here, and why not send it up to the 400-metre hurdles man himself, former training partner of Lauren Bowden, now Wells, and they'll be watching in Canberra tonight. Hope they're all still awake, because this is going to be a great run. Ollie, talk us through this one.
Yeah, look, what a good field here. Lauren McAdam in 2, Jess Gooley in 3, Sarah Klein in 4, Lauren Wells in 5, Laura Story in 6, and Genevieve Cowie in 7. The former athlete, clearly the one to watch, Lauren Wells, but Sarah Klein's an athlete who's been in very good form, and Jess Gooley is probably just a couple of runs finding her way into form. So, boys, it's going to be a cracking race.
And Jen Cowie leaving Jin Sujung in the lurch tonight on Valentine's night. So he'll hopefully still be at that table with the candles still on. Here we go, athlete to watch. It is Lauren Wells.
7-time national champion.
She almost doesn't need an introduction these days.
She's a gun.
She definitely is the athlete to watch. Now, what we say, watch for her to hit the last hurdle on the right. What hurdle was it, Ollie?
Look, it's an interesting night with the wind swirling around. It's actually just picked up right then. So Matty B's at home. He's sort of trying to work out how Lauren best gets her stride pattern to the best in terms of the conditions. So interesting to see how she really attacks this race, because the wind was very flat then. It's had a big gust there and it's now died. So for the 4 hurdles, rhythm is everything. They've got in their mind a certain pattern that they're going to try execute in the race. But in athletics, you've always got to be ready for plan B in case you smack hurdle 3, or if the wind suddenly gushes behind you on the back straight, getting too close to the hurdles. So Lauren ran well there in Canberra, and I think she'll be really looking for a step in the right direction towards a qualifier, I think. The meet record is held by Lauren Bowden, which is Lauren Wells.
She was pretty handy, wasn't she?
Yeah, good athlete. 55.61 as they go into their blocks now. The one to watch, Lauren Wells in 5, and Sarah Klein are inside in 4. You're going to stand up now.
56.20, the time to beat tonight. That'll get you a World Champs qualifier.
Oh, it's doable.
Well, 56.21 for Wells last week in Canberra. You don't get closer than that to a qualifier.
You really don't.
So PB of 55.08. And yes, meet record here, as Ollie said, 55.61. That was set in 2012. So
Liz Parnov as well having her final crack at 4.50. So it is all happening here. It's 8:37 here in Perth.
I've just got word from Lauren Wells' mum, and she says, we are awake and cheering.
One of the
in
legends,
Canberra.
the Bowdens. Love the sport of athletics, and big fans of Loz here. So
tough split screen going on here.
And away. And off to a good start is Lauren Wells on her inside. Sarah Klein, she's had some good runs in recent weeks. Down the back straight, it looks like Lauren Wells clearly opens up down the back straight. A bit of a gust of wind just there. Liz Parnov on the runway in the pole vault. And she's not clear, but Lauren Wells heads in the fifth hurdle with a clear lead. Jess Gooley running well on the inside, as is Sarah Klein. Lauren Wells with a commanding lead. She's looking strong. Negotiates the hurdle well, and she's got about 120 metres to go, and she's in the lead. Sarah Klein running well in second. Jess Gooley running well in third. But Lauren Wells, the crowd's got to get behind her, and no doubt Lauren's parents are behind her at home. Come on, Lauren Wells. Wells in the lead. She gets past the final hurdle. Can she get that qualifier tonight? The clock's not on there. We can't see the time, but Lauren Wells has won.
She looks at the clock anyway.
There's no time on the clock.
Coach Matty B.
We don't know what's going on there, but Sarah Klein, a great run in second, and just Gooley in third. But Lauren Wells, she delivers week in, week out.
A 56-19 unofficial would be fantastic, and I hope to bring you that news very shortly.
Up,
we might see, someone might send us through a result on Twitter.
We'd love to see a time.
Yeah, we'll try to get the result to you as soon as possible.
And the usual amount of being completely spent at the end of a 400 hurdles race
Everyone
there.
wants to have a sit down.
Yep. Well, there's a... so we'll come back to you very shortly there with the time. And what about the pole vault?
4:59 the bar is at. That's big.
Any reason why 4:59's been chosen?
Is it an under-18s record? Is it an under-20s record?
I am not sure. I'm sure if we went up to Alex Parnov now, he'd be able to tell us.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it is. 4:59 the bar's at. We see some of the girls in the 4 hurdles.
Why not 4:60?
Why not?
Why not 5:03?
Why not, mate? I'm sure there's some reasoning behind it. They're adjusting the bar there as well, bringing in the stands. Lauren Wells just... We're going to watch the Adidas replay now, Lynchy, and look, she looked home a fair way out, and you can see she's strong.
Familiar sight. Lauren Wells entering the straight on her own. Look, she is just that little bit better than the rest of the field at the moment. And she jumps over that final hurdle, and she looks strong. She kept the form there to the end.
Good dip over the line. Oh, that's...
And still looked at the clock.
Just to check.
Just in case
well, maybe... Oh, no, it didn't.
Well, that's
so there you go. I hope they're happy with that in Canberra.
Yeah.
Coach Beckenham, mum and dad.
Yeah, it'd be great to see her get that qualifier, but I have no doubt she'll have that qualifier by season's end. And you can hear her now. She's happy. She's happy with her run, and it looks good from here. We're unsure of the time, and no doubt her, Matt Beckenham, and...
Well, great run from Loz Wells in windy conditions. That's the coach's word. That's Matty B on Twitter.
Coach is happy.
So coach is fairly happy there. And look, hopefully Loz, I'm not sure if her husband Heath has made it over here to Perth as well, but hopefully he's got a bunch of flowers for her for Valentine's Day. Done the right thing.
Let's hope she gave herself a qualifier.
Well, I'll interview her in a sec. We'll find out.
Here we go. I've got the times here, guys. Unfortunately, not the time that Lauren will be happy with. 57.60. Sarah Klein, 59.12, and Jess Gooley, 59.87. So, look, time there. They'll be disappointed. Most athletes, we haven't seen amazing time on the track tonight, but if they'll be looking at the video there to see if she executed, and it's there, Robbo. It's there. It's coming. It's a matter of time.
Well, we might see if we can grab Loz for a very quick word, just to make sure Mum and Dad know that she's going okay. We'll get her in here. All right. We just got a message from your mum. They're up watching in Canberra. And the coach is pretty happy as well. Here's Lauren Wells. Loz, you seem a little bit deflated after that win. 57-ish. not as fast, obviously, as last week, and not as close to that qualifier as you would have liked. But what do you take out of that run?
I don't know initially, to be honest. I'm pretty disappointed with the time, and I know I'm in a lot better shape than when I'm running, so that's just a frustrating thing for me. But I'll go back and have a look at it. I'm sure that Maddie and I can take some positives out of it.
How did you respond after coming so close? I saw you watched the stream back from last week. You had the fingers crossed, waiting for that official time to come through. To be that close and not get the qualifier, I mean, you know you must have it in these legs. It's coming.
Yeah, and I guess that's what frustrates me a little bit about tonight. I knew that Canberra Track Classic, Perth and State next weekend were probably my 3 best chances of the season to run the time.
Yep.
And yeah, to have gone that close last week, I knew it would be okay, and I was totally positive after it because I know I can do it. But in saying that, as every race goes on, you really, really want to have just done it that time.
Yeah, tick the box.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, like I'll keep positive about it, but it's still frustrating at the same time.
Now tell us a lighter note, your husband Heath, did he do the right thing for Valentine's Day for you this year?
Depends what the right thing is, but we don't really celebrate it, so...
There you go, stayed out of the way. Let you have a clear head and do your race.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, big hello to everyone back home, especially my mum and dad who got up and watched, my coach Maddie, and yeah, everyone back home, I really appreciate it, so I'll see you soon.
Awesome, thanks for chatting to us, Lauren Wells. We'll see you again very soon, I'm sure, and back up to you guys.
See ya.
Lauren Wells, always in the money, and while she's not happy with her time there, no doubt when she gets the right conditions and gets the business end of the season, no doubt Loz is going to deliver the goods. So, yeah, look, a lot of positive take out of that. And Nina Kennedy here, 4 metres 59, Lynchy.
Interesting choice.
Can she do it?
I think she can. I think she's riding the wave at the moment. She's riding the high, and let's hopefully it's a literal high and it gets her over the bar. She had a few centimetres spare in that 450.
Now, I've just been informed, guys, Katrina Price, 4:59 will break the World Junior Outdoor Pole Vault record from Angelica Bengtsson of Sweden of 4:58. So that is the reason why the bar's at a 4:59.
That's massive.
So thank you, Katrina.
That Angela is the one who forced Liz Parnov to get her silver medals at her youth and juniors.
Oh,
so
well, it'd be good to get that.
Has anyone got Angelica's number? Because I might have to give her a buzz.
All right, the crowd is going absolutely wild here.
Can she do it? 4:59. Oh, not far off it.
She's still got 2 more attempts.
The World Junior Outdoor record. I think that's in danger. Has anyone got her on social? Has she got your Twitter or Instagram? Just
she's on Snapchat.
Just to let you know, someone's having a crack at your world record.
You should have a little alert that gets you get informed when someone's having a red hot crack at your record.
Here we are on the men's triple jump.
Tete Ane.
To be honest,
15-metre jump.
Let's be serious. If there's any athletics fans in the world not tuning into the love stream right now,
they're off their faces.
They really need to have a long hard look at themselves.
They do.
Boys, men's 100 metres up shortly, boys.
It is. Here we go. Start this. Lane 1, Lachlan McDermott. I'm pretty sure he's a young fella from WA there. Will Johns in 2, Elfie Mustafa 3, Hugh Donovan 4, Hartman 5, Boyle at 6, Aaron Breslin in 7, the state champion. Lane 8, James Gallagher, and in lane 9, Calvin Borowski from WA. Big, strong WA and Queensland contingent there.
Just get a little shot of the commentary, boys.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a good 100-metre race here. Of course, the meet record here, Patrick Johnson, 9:88.
9:88. That's in the old Perry Lake Stadium with at least a 3.5 tailwind. He ran a 9:90 in the heat and then a 9:88 in the final. And it looks like Nick Boylett doesn't look to be out there. He's pulled the pin after the 200, sorry. So it's going to be a Queensland battle between Hugh Donovan and Alex Hartman, and also looks like James Gallagher might not be there either.
Can't see
Gallagher on the inside. It's hard to tell. We've been missing a few start lists that have been a bit different. But I think it's going to be a race between Hartman in the white and Hugh Donovan on his inside in 4 in the black.
So I'll give you an updated start list here. McDermott in 2, Mustafa in 3, Donovan in 4, Hartman in 5. Looks like Boyle is a scratching. Breslin in 7 and Borowski in lane 8. That's the start list in the men's 100 metres at the Jandakot City Track Classic for 2015.
Big throw there from Hamish Peacock. We're going to keep you up to date with the javelin. Unfortunately, it was a foul.
Hang on, Breslin says...
Breslin having a bit of trouble with his blocks. I think they're a bit slippery. You don't want to miss the start. You don't want to do a breen.
No.
And lay the power down too much. I think Gallagher and Boylett are both missing in this race.
Yes.
We've got the Tassie Tossers on Twitter here. They're asking for a little bit of love for the Jav. They obviously want to see some big chucks out there from their boy.
Well,
it'll be happening very shortly.
There could be some big 80-metre throws out
well,
there.
They've got the wind.
Cleared it.
They've got the Fremantle Doctor behind them.
Here we go, boys. Take two. And for those at home, hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the Love Stream. And we've got this and the women's 200 to come. We've also got the recap of today's event, so stay tuned for that. Away, looks like Hartman's off to a good start. Donovan running well, and Mustafa on the inside. Getting to the lead now is Donovan. Coming over on the outside is Breslin. Breslin on the outside.
I think Donovan.
Close finish.
Haven't got the clock for you, sorry.
Hugh Donovan, trained by Denise Boyd up on the Sunshine Coast.
Breslin might have been a bit of smoky on the outside there.
Very fast, good top speed.
He's been in good form, the current 100 and 200 metre champion in Western Australia. So Aaron Breslin.
Hugh Donovan. Alex Hartman has a PB and a season best of 10.50, actually 10.48. So Hugh Donovan's done well there to take that win. If he got it, very close there from the local athlete Aaron Breslin. It'd be nice to get that win in front of the home crowd.
I think Breslin's got it. 10.42 for Breslin.
Wow.
2.4 tailwind.
What a run there from the local boy.
Local hero he's being referred to there, Aaron Breslin. He's big on social media as well.
Here we go, there's the Adidas replay. Breslin in the blue, working hard and really hitting his top speed just there.
Wow. Oh, he did it.
Oh, he had a look early too. He might have cost himself a bit of time there, but surely Hugh Donovan would be close to 10.42 or 10.43 in that race.
I didn't see her catch a wind reading there.
2.4.
2.4.
They're talking about it on social media. Someone has tweeted to Angelica B about her world record being under threat. So
wake her up.
She's well aware.
Wake her up.
I don't need to give her a buzz because she's been tweeted. And just a reminder, our hashtag, the Summer of Aths.
Can someone tweet her the live stream link?
Yep. It's u.tube.xz. No. athletics.com.au. That's where you'll find it.
Maybe we should tweet it. Just another tweet.
Well,
just a heads up. Probably a polite thing to do.
The current time in Sweden is 1:50 p.m. in the afternoon. It's perfect
beautiful.
Live stream time.
Beautiful. Here he is. Let's have a chat to the man.
In the triple jump, Lumley on the runway.
Oh, we'll get out of the shot there. Sorry. Apologies to the triple jumpers. Lumley in the beanie. But we're going to have a quick chat to our 100-metre winner tonight, Aaron Breslin.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Mate, you stormed home there. Last 40 metres, you were flying.
Yeah.
You still had gears to go.
Yeah, so it's a bit tough just waiting around, but, just wanted to come out and run fast. And my last 43 was the best bit of my race, so I just knew if I was a metre within those guys, I was going to get the result, and I was just pretty confident. I'm pretty glad I got the result.
10.42 we're hearing unofficial. You had 2.4 win. Yep. Have you gone much faster than that this season?
But it's just good to get fast time.
Yeah.
And versus good competition. Nobody's they're in the top 5 guys. They're quick. Hartman ran.
They're running well
last week.
Yep.
I was pretty keen to verse them. I got the result. I'm pretty grabbed.
And mate, what does it mean to you to be here on your home track in front of a big home crowd as well? How much did that do to get you over the line first?
It's just great. You dream of it. You want to win in your home, and to get it was just great. I was talking to my mum. I was like, I want to win. Get on the couch
on the Love Stream.
Love Stream for Valentine's Day.
Well, mate, congratulations. Enjoy. Well done.
Very much.
I'm going to send it back up to the boys.
Cheers.
Nina Kennedy attempting a world junior outdoor record. They're aware of it in Sweden. 4:59. The bar is out. Can she clear this? Here she goes. This will be massive. Oh!
She tried to chuck it back up. Oh, wouldn't that be a sight? Just chuck it back up there.
That was close.
What did you think, Robbo?
Oh, I thought the bar might have popped up and then landed back on. Would have been nice.
Wouldn't that be a way to get it done?
Just got the results here of the men's 100 metres open. The winner was Aaron Bresland from Western Australia, 10:42. Second place, Hugh Donovan from Queensland, 10:43. And Alexander Hardman was at third, 10:51. It was a plus 2.4 metre tailwind. So good sprinting there from those gents, and they'll be taking that next step towards Open Nationals. And, of course, Adelaide next week, isn't it, boys?
Yes, and in the recent 6 months, we've seen some very fast times there, and we might see some of our young bucks of the sprints coming out. Here we go in the jab. Is this Hamish? He's given that an almighty chuck.
Oh, whoa.
That's over 80. Oh, that's well over
big.
80.
Oh, that nearly flipped on itself. Who was that throwing?
It's Peacock.
Hamish Peacock.
Tassie tosses. That was for them.
That's 82 metres. I think that's an 81.15.
Well, that's the world champs qualifying mark.
Of 82 metres, I think it is. So, very close to it. Talking about a couple of, just maybe 2 feet short. Big throw. The jab nearly flipped on itself. It's landed very vertical for an 80-metre throw. Let's keep an eye on that board.
He's thrown 83.31 this year.
81. 31.
There we go.
31. Little beauty.
Final round throw there from Hamish Peacock.
Great throwing.
And apologies, we haven't been able to keep you up to date with the javelin quite as much as we would have liked to tonight, but that's certainly been the end to throw from with that breeze.
It certainly was.
Helped them out. The Special Ks will be watching the live stream here, saying they missed a chance throwing into the breeze perhaps, but
didn't hurt Kim.
No, well, she's still got one out there. And it looks like they're getting excited over there on the back straight. That looks to be the 200 metres for women.
That's right.
And that means we're getting close to the end of the love stream and the action here tonight in Perth. But Lynchy, why don't you introduce the field to us?
All right, it's a big WA field in this race. In lane 1, Britt Donny. 2, Daniel Spicer. In 3, Tia Higginbotham. And the Victorian Ash Whitaker in 4, ACT, winner of the 100, Mel Breen. In 6, Emily Longo. Lane 7, Rebecca Vesta. Lane 8, Amy Tolkien. In lane 9, Rain Eifler. And they're all WA athletes. So it looks like we're going to keep an eye on the middle there. Ash Whitaker and Mel Breen. And possibly Emily Longo, who went sub-12 in the 100. She could be there to grab that 3rd place.
Yeah, it should be a cracking race, this 200 metres. A great way to finish what's been a superb night of athletics at the Jandakot City Track Classic. And the wind has been around that plus 2.4. But we'd love to see her improve on her run from Canberra last week. But we've seen tonight the conditions aren't quite as good as they were in Canberra. It's just getting a bit chilly now, so not optimum for the athletes to sprint. But once again, Mel Breen will be using this as a run, as a big step in the right direction for her.
There it is, the Summer of Ass. Hashtag, use that on Twitter, Instagram. Follow Athletics Australia and Athletics WA. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all over it.
It's not too late to send us your photos of where you're watching the love stream from.
It's never too late.
Mel Breen ran 23.47 last weekend in Canberra. Finished behind Sal Pearson and Ella Nelson that night. No Pearson or Nelson in this race. So Mel Breen starts as favourite. And Ollie, we'll leave it for you to call us through the action.
Thank you, mate. The last track event of the night of this superb love stream at the Jandakot City Track Classic. Off to Adelaide next week, can't wait. And they're away in the women's 200 metres. The ones to watch are Breen and Whitaker. Breen makes her presence felt as they get around in the lead. Whitaker trying to go with her. Coming off the bend now. Breen is in the lead. Whitaker's still 2 or 3 metres off her. Breen running well. She's going to cap off what's been a great night of athletics for her with a big win. Taking out the 100, 200 metre double. Whitaker in second. 23.
73.
73, they're unofficial.
Plus 2.8.
So great running there from the girls. Women's 200. Breen takes the 1-2 double. What a night it's been at the Jandakot City Track Classic. Robbo, what are your thoughts, mate?
Look, a great finish there. Quality athlete taking out the win, and she takes the 1-2 double here in the West tonight.
And great running there. We'll shortly get the Adidas replay up, and you can see Breen off that bend. She already had a commanding lead. This part here really accelerates out of that bend and says, see you later to Ash Whitaker. Bang, bang, it's all over. And in the Adidas replay, you can see Mel Breen holding her form and taking a convincing win in the women's 200 metres. 23.75 there officially, with a plus 2.8 metre tailwinds.
It was well done by Ash Whitaker there, holding on. She didn't give much ground away to Breen in the final 50 metres there. And she ran well in Canberra last week as well. So time's just probably a little bit down, as we've said, spoken to some of the athletes tonight.
Doing a warm down. Lauren Wells there on the texty to her boyfriend, husband.
Maybe she'd forgotten.
Oh, what? Oh, here we go. Last attempt.
The world junior record. This is big.
And don't go away, folks, because we're going to try our very best to get a few words with the winner here of the women's pole vault. She's already got the win tonight, but this is just the icing on the top.
It is. On the Valentine's Day cake. This is it.
The crowd's getting behind her.
Good crowd still.
Can she clear it?
What a treat.
Don't tell me.
That's huge. That is absolutely huge. That's it.
That has brought the house down.
Absolutely huge. 4 metres 59.
Quick, get on to Sweden.
I better send her a tweet.
Tweet to Sweden.
Oh.
Sweden have a Twitter.
That is a little slice of history here tonight at the WA Athletics Stadium in Perth, the Jandakot City Track Classic.
You've just witnessed the best female under-20 pole vaulter in history. No under-20 pole vaulter female has jumped higher than that ever.
It's done. It's out there. Social media knows about it because Nina Kennedy is now the under 20 world record holder. 4 metres 59. That's huge.
What is she going to put it at? Is she going to keep jumping? She's still in.
This is the next question, and Twitter will tell us the answer.
And we've just actually had the officials have tackled each other into the pit, and she can't get back up. We need to see.
I hope they're okay. We'll make sure that they're okay down there. But tell you what, I haven't seen scenes like that at an athletics stadium.
Probably since Alana Boyd broke the Australian record here.
So we'll make sure
we actually might need some first aid down there at the pole vault.
Wow.
We're going to just let them attend to the incident there.
Wow.
We're going to see if we can get a word here. We see Benny Offren's out on the track. We might see if we can get a chat with.
My chair is still on the ground. I've tossed it to the dirt.
That is
after that huge jump.
We called the national record last year. Well, I called the national record for Mel Breen. Never thought I'd be able to be there for a world record, but wow, that is huge. 4 metres 59 world junior record. That is history right there. And for those at home, I hope you're still awake. You just witnessed history.
We've got a lot of excitement just happening over there.
That was amazing.
Unreal.
And I saw a lot of people leaving.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've missed it.
They've missed it.
Maybe
they were in the stadium.
Maybe they were heading home to watch the live stream. They've heard all the good reports about it. We've had Kathy Freeman watching it tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tweeting away. So hopefully they're still watching over there in the East
Coast.
Coast.
I was probably tucked into bed watching.
Loz's parents have been up in Canberra, and Maddie B's been watching as well. Talk us through that one then. You held on. You got the win, most importantly, and did the job.
As you can tell, doesn't been too many scintillating times out here tonight, unfortunately. So the track's not as fast as we all hoped, but it's great to obviously get the win. And I really tried to run a good bend. Matt told me to do that after my 100, so hopefully I was able to execute that. The last 50 hurt a bit, but it's always going to.
Excellent. And heading back to Canberra tomorrow. And getting excited for the state champs.
Yeah, so state champs next weekend. Hopefully some more glorious Canberra weather. So anyone that's coming down, I hope the weather delivers and we can get some fast times next weekend.
There we go. And the next one on the tour, we'll see you again in Sydney?
Yep, Sydney, Melbourne, and then at Nationals. So
perfect.
Some more hard training ahead, but yeah, I'm looking forward to continually racing and hopefully getting some more glorious weather.
Very good. Well, you've done well. You've lit up the track here tonight and you've taken the wins, and well done. We'll let you go and recover.
Thank you.
There you go.
Guys.
Mel Breen. Back up to you guys in the commentary box, and hopefully Ollie Worm has settled down. Lynchy, what do you reckon?
Ollie's gone for a lay down. I think he's got a bit of trouble after that big jump. Here we go. This is the Adidas replay of the world.
That was massive there, mate.
Junior record.
Talk us through this. Here we are on the replay, Ollie.
Good speed on the runway, great plant. She's clear.
It wasn't a sure thing because she gave the bar a little bit of a tickle there, but look at that.
That is, Robbo, you don't come to the track very often and witness the greatest jump of all time. That is the greatest jump in pole vault by a junior of all time. So, really astonishing.
And did we see it coming tonight?
Look, personally, no. I mean, before that jump, I wasn't aware of the world junior record, but as you said, you take it as it comes. I'm not sure she expected to go that high tonight, but these things happen.
Will it make headlines in Sweden tomorrow?
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope this live stream is all over Sweden, Swedish TV. They're all driving their subs and Volvos going, oh no, the record is gone.
18 centimetres onto her PB today.
Wow, there we go. Well, Ollie, that's it for track action out through here. Still a bit of finishing off in the women's pole vault. As we said, we thought we were going to go deep into the night. We've definitely done that. Thumbs up to you if you've stayed up over there on the East Coast. Well done. And then we hope you've enjoyed the show. Loved all the interaction on Twitter. How good were the tweets coming through there?
It's great to see everyone getting behind it, whether they were Valentine's Day on their own, watching the live stream with flowers. What a great night. And Lynchy's here now. What a night of athletics.
Oh, mate, I loved it. And what a way to finish it off, too, with that huge jump. It's topped the night off. What a Valentine's Day.
What a Valentine's Day.
Look, the love stream has been talked up. Kelly Hetherington, we must remember down there at Briggs in Hobart, she came up with the concept.
I think by accident. By accident.
Mistyped it.
Correct.
I spoke to her boyfriend, and they said it wasn't a mistake entirely, but it stuck. And how good was it? Here we are on Valentine's Day, and we've brought it to you. Highlights for tonight, boys, and I mean they're still going, but what has taken your fancy out of all that?
Well, look, I think you can't go past that jump on Nina Kennedy in the women's pole vault. Simply superb. The speed in the runway, the way she planted it so strongly. Her coach seemed happy. She seemed ecstatic. So for me, you can't go past that. Lynchy?
Yeah, well, let's not discount it. She might still be jumping.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're not packing up.
Good stuff. I think they're remeasuring it. I don't know what they're going up to, but... Yeah.
76? National record?
National record. She's in shape.
There you go. Well, for me, having the pleasure of coming out here and seeing the Triple Ks and Kim Mickle into a stiff breeze, it must be said, to see, and we had a great view of it here, and you would have seen it on the love stream as well, to see the power and to see the trajectory and watch them all go up and see how some work better than others. And Kim Mickle's a master of her craft. It was fantastic.
And that's what I want to see in the sport. You've got the head-to-head. 3 athletes all in the same sort of ballpark, vying for a bigger throw, and they all seem to get on great as well. But out there, they're ferocious. No one wants to lose.
I think the battles are important.
Exactly. Like we saw Ruck Denny and Guy Hanley in the discus, the girls in the jav. They're all good mates as well, and they push each other every week. So they're always competing, and I think that kind of rivalry is just going to keep them going and going in the future.
A quick one as well. I love the history behind the Herb Elliott Mile. I love the youngsters giving a red hot crack. It wasn't that many years ago when going under 4 minutes was thought about as being impossible. Now people are peeling it off, and we're seeing the world record well underneath that. But in Australia, we're still seeing that romance, dare I say it here on the love stream, around trying to get under 4 minutes. Didn't happen tonight for the boys, but I reckon it'll be just around the corner for those guys the way they're going.
No doubt about it. So
have a special guest coming
here.
Up.
She is. Oh, hang on, and make way for the world junior record holder. Holy moly!
This could finish off the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Come on in.
I'm going to get off.
Ollie,
okay.
No, you're in. You got to get some of this black stuff on your hand. It's magic.
There we go.
World record.
Excellent.
World record.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I can't. I'm speechless, seriously.
How about you have a mic, Ollie?
There you go, Nina.
Thank you. Oh, I don't want to get black stuff on it.
No, it's all right. You won't lose grip of it.
Okay.
Talk us through that comp.
Well, I really just wanted to jump 50. Yep. That was my all-time goal this season. And I knew the conditions are good. I knew the crowd was awesome. I did it. I don't know. I just did it.
Sounds easy.
Yeah, and then I went to 59, and I was like, I have nothing to lose.
Yep.
Do it.
Yep.
Yep.
And you were fully aware of what that meant?
Yeah.
Going over that? You knew about the record?
Yeah, kind of when I'm in the zone, I'm not really... I don't know, nothing's really distracting me like that. And I kind of just think, I go through my cues, I go through everything, and then kind of once I'd done it, the realisation kind of kicked in. So.
Tell us, how much is it a mental game, pole vault?
Oh, I say like 90%, like literally, it's really, really tough. At the elite level when you're there, it's like full on.
And Nina, how have you found the vibe tonight? Obviously, the Jandakot City Classic, being big crowds here, that motivate you, that help you get over that height?
Oh, definitely. Lots of my friends and family came who actually like never seen me vault before. So, yeah, the crowd was awesome. When I told them to clap, they did it like that. So
Bang.
They're really awesome, yeah.
And where to next for you now that you're a world junior record holder?
That's really scary.
What's the what's next? I mean, are you going to wake up tomorrow in bed and go, I've just broken the world junior record? I mean, you're going to have newspapers out, you're going to have massive contracts. What do you reckon's going to happen?
I have no idea.
Swedish Breakfast TV are already requesting.
Oh, really? No.
I tweeted the Swedish girl and just let her know, so she knows. She knows what's going on. But of course, I'm sure she'd be happy for you because that's the game. That's the game.
I think mainly, I just kind of want to work towards opens and juniors, and then hopefully go to Beijing.
Great, and it must be tough competing against the likes of Alana Boyd, Vicky, Liz. They're all been class athletes.
They're
tonight.
really, really awesome. I love competing with them. They push Vic and Liz and Emma. They all push me in training and competition especially. So.
All right. Tell me, how have you spent your Valentine's Day other than breaking world junior records? What has happened to you today from a Valentine's Day perspective that you'd like to share with everyone on the Love Stream? Nothing.
Oh, I went out for coffee and I had a white chocolate muffin.
Did you get a love heart in your coffee?
I didn't.
Oh, disappointing.
I stayed in bed, I watched a couple of movies, and then I came here.
There you go. Well, that's the day in the life of a junior world champion. And well done. I reckon you'll wake up in the morning and it'll take a while for that to sink in.
Yeah, I don't think it ever
Congratulations.
will.
Look,
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, it's fine. You jumped 4 metres 59. These boys jumped 8 metres 89 when they saw you get that height. It was incredible to see what happened in the commentary box.
Yeah.
But look, you've touched a lot of people's lives here. You've made a lot of people go home happy. Well done.
I think I'm happy. Thank you very much,
of course.
guys.
And we're going to wrap things up there if you just stick with us here. That's been the Jandakot City Track Classic. Fantastic work.
Jandakot.
And I don't know about you boys, but that has been, I would have to say, easily the best love stream in the history of the sport. And it's been great to have you on board. Big thanks to you, Lynchy, and thanks to you, Ollie Worm, as well.
Robbo.
Big thanks to the team from VPA for putting in hours and hours of work and setting things up. It's really fantastic. This stuff doesn't happen. We get to look pretty out in front here. I don't know if we look pretty at all. And these guys set it all up.
It's still Valentine's Day.
That's right. It will be for a while yet. Now, next week, where are we off to?
We're off to Adelaide.
You coming?
I'm coming.
Good. Lynchy coming? Lynchy's sitting it out. We might have Mossy back next week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Adelaide, that'll be stop number 5 on the Australian Athletics Tour, so make sure you join in there. I know they're getting excited in Adelaide already.
The City of Churches.
And they're preparing for that. They'll be ringing the bells.
Praying for good.
And hopefully we'll see more World Champs qualifiers and junior world records, and who knows what else we might see down there as well. We'll see some great performances. Remember, you can check out all the results on athletics.com.au. Keep the conversation going using the hashtag Summer of Aths across all the platforms. Some great memories here from Perth again, boys, and I want you to take us out tonight with your favourite love song dedication. The mic's yours.
Love is in the air.
Everywhere I look around. Oh, hang on, here we go. We've got the guitar. What song are we hitting up?
Keep going.
Love is in the air. Every sight and every sound. And I don't know if I've been foolish. And I don't know if I've been wise, but it's something that I must believe in.
And it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air.
Everywhere
in the trees. The Whispering Eagle, Jandakot.
The Whispering Eagle.